Hey guys, Steven here, Fanatic Perspective. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. We are out here right now getting ready to get the live table, the round table in here. Some guys will be coming in late because everybody's popular now and got other podcasts to do and other shows to record. But brothers will be in here to talk with FP as we break down Texas versus TCU. Guys, the playoff rankings just dropped, and they are TCU is now ranked fourth as predicted. I think the only mild question was if a one loss TC or a one loss Tennessee would be five or four, but they ended up at five, TCU at four, Michigan at three, Ohio State at two, and Georgia at number one. Um, this is Trey must be holding you up. Yeah, Trey's on his way. Everybody is on their way. Kieran's actually in here. He's almost ready. Um, but everybody is on their way. But with that being said, I appreciate everybody coming in here as we get geared up for the whole crew to come in. Make sure you hit the like button, show us some love. It's free to show love. Hit the like button, subscribe. You got to be subscribed to be in the chat. You know what to do when you're here and how we take attendance. So I appreciate everybody jumping in and chiming in. Here's the other thing too. While we're here, many conversations about the betting odds and spread on this game. Right now, the spread is Texas -7. Um, and I'm really interested to hear people's thoughts on that. A lot of energy at home, college game day being there, and the way Texas looked against Kansas State last week, against an undefeated team, against an undefeated TCU team coming in here 9-0, year one under Sonny Dykes. If you're looking for somewhere to take advantage of Texas -7, if you're looking for somewhere to say, hey, I want to take TCU in the points, hit up usr.com/fanatic. Right now, we're actually doing the Sports 100 FP promo. So 100% free play match on all initial deposits, up to $2,500. So you get to see my big, beautiful face there. No lies are told. But hit that website up. Let's see. Let me talk with y'all in the chat real quick while we're waiting on everybody to get in here. Let's see. We got a super chat from Jacob. Hey Steve, it's my birthday. Been celebrating for my horns. Great videos as always as top of the day, or as always to top the day off. A great day. Also, OU sucks. OU does suck. And we took an OU player today. If y'all didn't hear the good news, if y'all didn't hear the great news about Colton Vasek, who is now committed to the University of Texas, he decides to stay home. Westlake, much needed edge help. So shout out to Colton Vasek, who is now on board, flips from OU to Texas. So let's I see we have Trey here. Trey Area, what's up, man?
So you doing all right? Y'all doing okay?
How we doing, family?
Hey man, bless.
Amen. Amen, brother. We have brother. We have brother Kieran here as well. So we're gonna bring Kieran in. Brothers are starting to show up. What's up, Kieran?
I need to get
How we doing? We doing good today, huh?
We're
It's a good
doing
day for
well.
us. It's a good day for us Longhorns, huh? It's a pretty good day.
Kieran,
Pretty good
guys,
day.
Kieran can't wait to talk about recruiting. I know,
Oh, I
I know.
can't.
Oh my gosh, like Kieran, we've been going crazy in the group chat all day, bro.
You've been seeing
Like,
me screaming about edge play and about edge recruiting, and we finally got a guy that I think could possibly even step on the field next year. Like that's just it's a phenomenal thing when you get a 6'6", 6'7" dude who's probably going to end up playing next year at around like 235, 240, 245 maybe. You know what I mean? Put them on that Bama 2014 strength and conditioning program if you got to. Get them ready to go. You know what I mean? That's all I really care about. But yeah, it's a good day. It's gonna be a good week too, right, Trey?
So what?
So it's been a good day and it's gonna be a good week.
You
right?
heard us,
Right,
brother.
Trey?
You heard us.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Trey
What
got
you
the
say,
old head
Chuck?
Bluetooth in.
What'd you say, Chuck?
Now, what'd you say, Chuck? He's got the Spice Adams old Bluetooth in.
Listen.
But yeah, no, I was
Hey,
just giving I came fully prepared. Oh, what's up, Steve?
Before we get started, because we are waiting on Jay Bass to make his FP debut, he is fashionably late right now, and he's much in demand as he's doing multiple podcasts. But I do want to give you guys an opportunity to. Everybody knows who Kieran is, but Trey. For those who don't know, Trey, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? You are the resident representative of the TCU Horned Frogs. First off, congratulations on this season, because you told me y'all were going 6-6. So
Yeah.
lies were told on your part. Okay. But hey, here we are now, 9-0. Sonny Dykes, year one. All these guys back. Max Duggan's balling. How you feeling, brother? Welcome to the show. Welcome everybody. Trey from Texas Football Life, who is here ready to take his L on behalf of the Texas Christian University Horned Frogs. What's up, Trey?
Man, I'm doing good, doing blessed. I did say 6-6 just because my coach's track record. He usually tails off towards the end of the year, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm surprised. It's like a whole 360 with this program from last year to this year. But we live to fight another day.
No, we're gonna fight right now, brother.
Hey, what was that part that you said about your head coach?
Which one?
The part that he tails off towards the end of the year. How many games y'all got left though?
Only got 3, but he tails off usually at the beginning of October, but finishes strong at the ending of what? November.
We'll see. We will see. I'll tell you what though, I came prepared, Steven. I came prepared to really slander this man on your platform, to really just come at his neck, coming up sideways about the fact that he grew up a Texas fan and now he's rooting for the TCU Horned Frogs. But as we were in a Twitter space about 20, 30 minutes ago, he gave me a very touching and real description of why he doesn't root for Texas. And it honestly makes a lot of sense. So I don't want him to relive all of that. But at the end of the day, I just got to say I respect Trey a lot. But he did grow up a Texas fan. So, deep down, deep inside, Trey's going to be rooting for us this Saturday.
You left home?
Man, I grew up in Austin. That's the crazy part.
I know. You left home, brother.
But think about this. My favorite player growing up was who? Jeremy Curley. And guess who he played with? Jay Bass. I seen Jay Bass like growing up. That's the crazy part.
I didn't know he played with Jay Bass.
Played with Jay Bass. Jay Bass and Jeremy Curley was on that 2006 Hutto State team that lost to Tatum. They had lost like, I want to say 42-35. But Jay Bass was on that team. So that's how long I known Jay Bass. And you could.
So Trey is like a family member to me. Trey is so connected in the greater Austin area. And I was actually with, my cousin Dylan last night at the Nets Mavs game, watching Luka versus KD and seeing the demise of Ben Simmons. But Trey, I want to give you the floor real quick because I know you have some interesting thoughts about this matchup, and I want you to kind of give me, what's gone right for TCU this year, in all seriousness, and then why should we be concerned? Why should Texas be fearful of the Horned Frogs coming in, despite outside of the record? But what are we seeing from this Sonny Dykes led team?
What has gone right was the buy-in so early. You had kids that bought in early. They knew people don't know, this is Sonny Dykes. I'll take this off. This is Sonny Dykes' dream job. This is his dream job to be here. Also, he brings in a great OC, Garrett Riley. Everybody knows who Garrett Riley is, the younger brother of Lincoln Riley. And we had the offensive players that fit the scheme, and they just bought in early. So it was really kind of like plug and play. Now you have a defensive coordinator, Joseph Gillespie, who's from Stephenville. He left Stephenville to go to Tulsa in 2012. Was under, can't say that name because we say that name in college football, like you're saying Voldemort and Harry Potter. So it's just that
Yeah.
man that starts with a B.
Mm-hmm.
We'll leave it like that. He comes under that tree, and his defensive scheme is a 3-5.
BAB.
I ain't gonna say the man's name.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, don't get the channel snatched.
Some of the people that watch this channel wanted him to hire him as a head coach. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, this saying the man, but he comes from under that tree, and he is Gillespie has also had Xavier Collins that was at Tulsa. He also had, when he was at Tulsa, he always had a top 20 defense. The first year was always a turnaround. He had a top 100 defense, maybe not 110 defense. I'm sorry, don't get bad stats. But in the second year, he always had a top 20 defense. So he knows how to breed linebackers. He got his in 2020. He got his Xavier Collins, who now is with the Arizona Cardinals, first round draft pick. So his specialties with linebackers. It's just the buy-in. Hey, Coach Kyles also comes from. We got a new strength and conditioning coach. I know everybody talks Tory Beckton in Texas. We also got a new one, Coach Kyles. So it's just the buy-in so early. Like they ain't want to buy in and come in and play. Because it's also, some of these kids were recruited by Gary Patterson. We're gonna get into that narrative. So it's a lot of narratives. It's like you seen that meme of Spider-Man, like the Spider-Man pointing at each other. That's how this game is. Someone starts out fast in the first half, the other one is slow in the first half. But on the back end, one closes strong, the other one doesn't close quite so strong. So that's what makes it so significant was the buy-in of the team.
Thank you, Jake Bridges, for the super chat. He said, Trey can't kick me out of this chat. Did you kick Jake out of something else, Trey?
I'm going to tell you about Jake. Jake over here posing. Jake, what I say earlier. Now, you're all right. We don't lose the Pine Bluff. You're not lying about that. You are correct.
Man, saw Mike Miles hit a jumper.
That was clutch.
Hey, OU in the dirt too. Sam Houston State beat OU last night too. Ooh. Crazy.
Yikes.
Crazy. Happy we didn't start off our season with a loss. Couldn't be us. But also
go ahead and cook, Karen.
Speaking about that buy-in though, Trey, I think it's obviously, I mean, these TCU players got to see what a Sonny Dykes system and team could do up close and personal because they were playing SMU every year. And I think Sonny Dykes' first year, phenomenal. And also, I think a lot of people are forgetting this. Like, Sonny Dykes isn't a stranger to this environment coming up this weekend either. He was the head coach for Cal in 2015 in a primetime game in DKR, in which we were actually really excited. Gerard Hurd put up one of the greatest performances a Texas quarterback ever has. And then Nick Rose ended up missing an extra point to lose that game. We don't talk about that. But
shout out to Nicky Rose.
Shout out to Nicky Rose. But I think Sonny Dykes has come in and he's really done great things with TCU. The buy-in, obviously, offensively, I think these guys had to have been excited to go out there and put all that work to use out there on the football field that they were doing in the offseason. Because, I mean, man, if you look at what TCU, or not TCU, but what SMU had and what he was capable of doing with those wide receivers, the Danny Gray, Rasheed Rice, who was that? James Prochet was there too, right?
Yeah,
James Prochet, yeah, before them. Yeah, exactly. So you had dogs out there on the football field for him. And TCU, they do have an offensive system that is somewhat scary. And I think that's something that we really got to be worried about this weekend. Especially in the secondary, because he loves finding the weaknesses in defenses and just continuously exploiting them time and time again. And he can do it everywhere. I mean, you saw him at SMU. If you weren't ready to defend the run, bro, you would come in thinking that this was an air raid offense, and then Ulysses Bentley was going to go off for 230 yards on you on 12 carries or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, he finds the weaknesses in these defenses, and he's a damn good coach too.
So with Dykes, I'm interested to know, because Garrett Riley being there, Dykes being there, are they like a collective brain trust? Because, I mean, like, the way Sark and AJ Milwee kind of work, AJ Milwee is more involved in the offense than I think people realize, but that's also like his like protege, right? But I know Garrett Riley comes from a little bit different background. They both have that air raid, base and some of the things there. But I remember Sonny Dykes being a mastermind, and now Garrett Riley seems to be that guy. How is that whole, dynamic work from somebody looking from the outside looking in?
Trust. Like he he understands that, hey, I'm a head coach and this is you're the OC. I'm not gonna touch what you do. I may make a suggestion, but this is the game plan. It's the game plan we're both gonna have, and this is what you're gonna do. I trust you what you're gonna do. Like a CEO, hey, you're over this department, this is what you're good at. I'm gonna let you do what you do. I'm gonna give a suggestion. This is what I'm looking at. It's kind of like you bouncing ideas off each other. What we're gonna do, and that's why they work so good together. People forget before Garrett Riley when he was at SMU, it was Rhett Lashley. So that's why Rhett Lashley is back at SMU because he was the OC for. And you kind of seen when, like Kieran said, the players seen they seen a Sonny Dykes offense with different two coordinators and like, hey, we see this year in, year out. And also when he got there, you kind of seen the gap close with SMU and TCU. You seen the gap slowly closing because he was an offensive mastermind. Even when he was at La Tech, he was the same way, putting up big numbers. And when he's at La Tech, he seen PK when PK was at Utah State. So they seen each other. Also, we had Meacham that's still on staff. Meacham was a receivers coach.
No, he saw Orlando.
We saw Orlando too,
yeah,
and also
and Orlando was at Utah State. PK was.
Oh yeah, Orlando
was at Boise State.
But Sonny and PK ran into each other, Cal and Washington though.
Washington and Meacham ran into PK. He's at Boise State. So Mountain West. So it's history. It's like we're not this fond like, oh, this is a new matchup. No,
they're familiar with each other.
They're very familiar with each other. It's just what philosophy go in.
So Kieran, let's be open, man, right now, because I know you have concerns. This is the rare instance I feel like in our relationship where I'm more confident about a game than you are.
I'm not.
I'm very confident about this game, and you're wavering. You don't like the matchup.
I don't like the matchup whatsoever, to be honest with you. I really don't. I think them missing Quentin Johnston is huge. It's really huge because I think at the end of the day, you were going to get a matchup with either Savion Williams or Quentin Johnston on Deshaun Jameson. Whichever one of those I wasn't really finding favorable.
Hold on, is he not playing?
He's in a boot. Yeah, it's likely he's not playing. And if he does play, he's not going to give you what I think Quentin Johnston could be giving you. You know what I mean? But who knows? It's Texas.
I'll believe it when I see it. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah. Who knows? He could get out of that boot on Thursday and be like, all right, cool, I'm doing this thing. But I'll say my concerns really come from the middle of this defense. It's the soft zone coverage that we've shown all year. It's the inability to play in zone coverage from the linebacker position that we've seen all year. Kind of not saying like we're lucking into interceptions or anything like that, but a lot of the times we're lucking into these incompletions. And the thing is, if we're not capable of getting pressure on Max Duggan and doing it efficiently, making sure we're getting pressure and also filling our pass rush lane so he's not leaking out and getting 20, 30-yard scrambles, I think it's going to be a long day for us, especially over the middle of the field. When you have Tay Barber, Darius Davis up against a Michael Taff or Jaron Thompson, or just exploiting the holes in these zones. Like they're a good wide receiver group, and they're the best wide receiver group we're going to play all year. Now, offensively, I think we're going to show up ready to play. I think offensively, we're going to show up ready to run that rock. I think if we get a good game from Quinn Ewers, we're going to win this game. And I think we could even do it comfortably if Quinn Ewers shows up and is playing at an elite level. I don't think there's any team in the Big 12 that can play a competitive game with us when he's on. And that's just on a pure talent perspective type thing. Like it's just we're advanced. But I haven't seen that the past 3 weeks. And I haven't been comfortable with teams throwing against this secondary the entirety of this conference season, other than the West Virginia game. So if we can tap back into what we were doing effectively, getting pressure on the quarterback, being capable of being around the ball, at least like we were against West Virginia, I think we can win. But I'm scared. We struggle against Max Duggan. And like I said, I've been saying this. We tend to make quarterbacks look like Superman. And now we have a quarterback that actually has been Superman this season for TCU. And we've made him look like Superman time and time again before. This is his fourth year playing against Texas. He's not used to this environment. He came to Texas and beat us last time he was here. So I don't know. That concerns me. And the fact that the past 3 weeks, Hunter Deckers, Spencer Sanders with one shoulder, and then Adrian Martinez all looked like very capable elite-ish quarterbacks against us outside of the pick and then the late fumble that Adrian Martinez did because he's just not a clutch football player. It's been concerning. We've made mediocre quarterbacks, mid quarterbacks, like I like to say, look better than they are. So I don't know. We'll see. That's where my concern comes in.
So let me present some optimism here from my vantage point, because everything you said is completely valid. It's funny because I was the one that got all the heat for being too harsh on Quinn, or about Quinn against Oklahoma State. I had no issue really with how he played against Kansas State. I think that was more of the coach not allowing him, not saying not allowing him, but hey, we're up. We get, we have a clear, mindset to run the football and be physical, but we also got almost too conservative when everybody loads up the box. He doesn't really have, in my opinion, or from what I see, he doesn't really have the authority to audible and problem solve at the line of scrimmage and do the things necessary to throw the ball and get out of those situations. So whenever he was blitzed, he looked fine to me. I didn't see happy feet. I thought he was decisive when he needed to be. But you're right, he has to cook against this. Now, where I'm optimistic is TCU's running the same defense that everybody else has been running against us recently. We're going to see the same look. And now there's some nuances that everybody has, and there's certain positions that they may do a little bit better, especially probably in my opinion in coverage than Kansas State did. But I also thought Kansas State was probably better up front and more equipped to stop our run. And Trey, you're going to tell me that, hey, we returned 80% of our production and we have all these experienced guys. Well, you know what? All those experienced guys are the same exact people that got run through by Bijan Robinson last year in Fort Worth. Those are the same folks. So I have confidence that we're going to be able to run the football with both Bijan Robinson, with Roschon Johnson. And I just think to address Kieran's concern, we can't go into this shell and be scared to allow our quarterback to make plays when those challenges present themselves, specifically to the fact of TCU is one of the best teams in the country, if not the best team. I think y'all are number 2 right now in like fourth quarter differential. And playing, you guys are amazing in the second half, and we've been terrible in the second half. And so I think that's more of a reason to just allow somebody to keep being aggressive, keep cooking. When we say aggressive, that doesn't mean taking shots on first down 50 yards down the field. That's not what I mean by being aggressive. What I mean by being aggressive is when you look at what we've hit on throughout the year, the post corners, the crossers, some of the action we've had out of diamond formation, some of the action we've had down the seam to Jatavian Sanders, and calling your best stuff to stay on time, to stay in rhythm, to avoid the pre-snap penalties that I see a lot of people commenting on. We're going to have to score points in this game. And that involves not being afraid to let your quarterback cook. But in terms of and Kieran, we've had this conversation before about nitpicking Sark about overcorrecting. He kind of let Quinn, kind of give Quinn too much leash in the Oklahoma State game.
Yeah, and then he gave him too little last week.
And then he gave him too little.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough balancing act, though, too, whenever you have such a quarterback that's so inexperienced. Like, at the end of the day, I feel like we have such high expectations for Quinn, and deservingly so. Like, he's an amazing talent. But we're forgetting, dude, this is still his 5th, 6th start of his entire career, and he's 19 years old. It's going to take time. And also, he needs more comfortability with the system. He doesn't have command of the offense yet. Like you said, we talked about this the other night. We're talking about a quarterback that knows the plays, but doesn't really have command of the offense yet. And that's just going to come with time and comfortability. Look at the jump that Sam Ehlinger made from his freshman year to his sophomore year. And I think with Quinn, it could even be a bigger jump because of the talent that the kid has. But I don't know. In terms of what this team can do and what Sarkisian can do in terms with adjustments, I think he's got to trust his gut instincts. And also my thing is read the game, read the room. If Quinn's missing 15-yard outs or like 5-yard ins, and he's just completely inaccurate. You know what I mean? Like they're going 2 rows into the stands, bro. Like, okay, this is a Bijan Robinson game. Like let's depend on him this week. And also like I'm not gonna be upset if Bijan Robinson gets 30 touches and we lose. I'm not gonna be sitting here like, damn, well, I wish we would have thrown the ball more. Yo, he's your best player. You gotta rock with him. You gotta rock with him. But yeah.
Also, like reading the room. Hey, like you saying, my quarterback is off. I'm gonna give it to my bell cow. I got 2 bell cows. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie, y'all have 2 bell cows. Yeah. And noticing tendencies, the first play is gonna be unbalanced. We're gonna go unbalanced right or left, and we're gonna run a counter back. Okay, what do you do when they get stopped? If it gets stopped, and that's also goes with this reading. Like, hey, if I'm knowing that he's off, let me go back to what's working. So I'll be honest. What Gillespie does is like, hey, I'm gonna let you run your plays, and then I'm gonna make an adjustment. So it's kind of like the dummy. I know a base defense. He will stay in base defense and say, hey, do what you're gonna do, because when I come out in half, I want to see what adjustments you're gonna make to mine.
Is that why you guys have been down so often in these games? Is that like not to say it's on purpose, Trey, but I mean, you guys go down 28-10, I think, against Kansas State. You know, you were really struggling. It seemed like against Texas Tech, and then, like you said, it's kind of like when Floyd Mayweather got real late in his career, and he would start down. He would basically blow the first 3 or 4 rounds just to download, and then it would be a shutout, right?
Just and so react.
Is that? I mean, I feel like I'm maybe answering my own question, but I feel like that's kind of what you guys have been.
And that's what he does. Is like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna analyze what you're doing, and I'm gonna make adjustments. And he make, because he's like, okay, I know. Hey, I'm gonna get cooked. That's our problem too. If we get y'all behind the chains, if you see, I think we have one of the most big plays of like to give up on, I think plus like 15 yards or something, like plus like behind the chain. I forgot the number, but we give up probably the most, because he sits back and like, okay, instead of I'm gonna let a quarterback sit there, I'm going to play base defense and see what you're gonna do. And that's what also, if you see, I think defensive stat, you look at the stats from the first half into the second, it's completely different. It's completely different.
That's where we're like looking at each other though.
And that's what I'm saying. We're looking at, it's like you like, we're looking at it, like you're saying, we're looking at each other because it's like one person, they get out to a quick start, but the other one, we're gonna finish off of adjustments. So what adjustments will you make in between time? Because I'm wondering, this is my narrative, how deep in the hole we're gonna let y'all get before we make an adjustment? How deep are we gonna really? How much points are we gonna give up? Will it be 30? What up, Lando? Will it be 30 points? Will it be 27 points? What do we do? Because I want to know what happens if we keep that margin to 3 in the halftime, or we're up. You don't know, because that's the narrative. How much we gonna give up to be like, you know what? All right, let's go make an adjustment. We're not gonna make one.
And honestly, that's the biggest fear that I have going into this game. Like heading back to the earlier point where you were talking about me and you disagreeing, Steven. Their strength is our weakness. They close games. They love closing games. They love getting behind early. And guess what? Waxing some ass coming back in the second half. If we don't come prepared in the second half of this football game, we don't have a shot of winning. It's going to get ugly. But also on their side, if they don't come prepared early on in the game, they're not going to have a shot of winning, because it's going to get ugly early. But at the end of the day, like this game being a barn, this game could be a barn burner with a halftime score of 35-14 with us up. And I'd still be like, damn, I don't know if this is really what we're looking for right now.
We're going to be sweating. I mean, we played I thought, as clean outside of the Roshan fumble, which was on a fourth and 1, where he's, a lot of, I mean, that was a tough one, right? Like, I don't even really blame the player or anything like that. But outside of that, we played as clean at half offensively as we could have asked for to get to that 31. And we're up 31-10. And so my thing is, I still want to get the lead again.
Yeah.
I just think that you need to train your team. You need to train your players how to play with the lead. You need to train your players how to handle success and understand that we need to win the half. Like last week, we lost the half 17-3, right? Or whatever the number is. But like that can't happen every week.
Mm-mm.
Our fourth quarter, and obviously there's a reason for that. You're trying to protect your lead. But I think we have to treat TCU differently than we've treated other teams. Sonny Dykes, it's interesting. I was watching him on the playoff show today on ESPN. He was talking like Herb Street and Reese and them. And he essentially said that he gave a lot of credit to, and Trey, you mentioned it earlier, the strength and conditioning program. I mean, he harped on that big time and was just talking about like we train to be stronger in the fourth quarter. We train to make the opponent tired. And like you said, a lot of that is also the mental aspect. You're making a lot of adjustments. It's harder to think when you're tired. It's harder to execute when you're tired. And maybe I don't think that's been an issue for Texas, Kieran. I don't think we've investigated that because we haven't really seen this massive drop-off defensively. I think if we've seen a massive drop-off defensively for Texas, then I would investigate that.
I would honestly say we've been better in the second half, especially, well, not the second half, the third quarter defensively. But I think we put our defense in bad spots because they're continuously on the field, especially come the fourth quarter. And it gets to a point where like, well, they're just not getting to stop because this offense has had this much time to adjust and we're tired. But I would say defensively, we've actually been better in the second half of these football games. It's not like we're just getting worn down and now they're running for 8-9 yards a pop like they have been, like what happened last year. No, we're still solid against the run. That's why we won the game last week. That's why we won. Like whenever they got into our area to go tie it up, or not to go tie it up, to go cut the lead to, I believe it was, what was it? I forgot what the actual score was, but they had an opportunity in our area to go cut the lead to something serious, and we ended up holding them into a field goal. Like it's because we're actually capable of playing a defensively sound, not tired, good brand of football in the second half of these football games. And we do make adjustments at halftime. It's the offensive side of the ball that's been kind of our Achilles heel, especially in third quarters of football games. We have yet to score. I believe we've scored 3 touchdowns in the second half of games in conference this year outside of the Oklahoma game.
Yeah, we've scored 16 points in the second half since OU. Total. We've scored 6 in the last 2 games, 3 and 3. So, Trey, I want to give you the opportunity to address this because brothers in the chat, you see the comments. Quentin's not the only person saying this, by the way. I don't want to put this all on Quentin. Many people in the comments are saying you guys have had crazy look. Is it Steven Houston? You guys are having crazy luck. You're playing backup QBs. That's why the second half numbers are skewed, Trey. Hey, y'all did put the dirty kill shot on DG though on OU. That was filthy. Very nasty business on your part, Trey.
That was stupid what he did. But yeah, I remember Spencer Sanders, he didn't go out. He was
already hurt though.
That's true. He was already hurt. And then the play that Adrian Martinez got hurt on was like non-contact. It was a non-contact injury. So I was like, we're not over here this Sean Payton 2012 just out here Bounty Gate out here.
Hey, like my man Greg Williams?
Like Greg Williams said, hey, look, here's some extra NIL money. He's gonna kill him. All right.
What did he say? He said he on the Greg Williams dog.
Greg Williams, we out here today.
What did he say?
Go kill him.
Aim for the head. Aim for the head. The body will follow.
Yeah, aim for the head. Don't care. Hey, you don't care to get ejected next week. You're third string. Kill him.
Nasty. Y'all are nasty.
But I'll say this. I was like, that's why I'm saying like not every quarterback they haven't played. We have not like just went out there and tried to hurt them. But I'll say this though. Will we play into y'all's game? Because Sonny Dykes has a problem doing that. Like last week on the 4th down conversion. Just get the points. Get the points. You would have beat Tech by at least 16 if you just got the points. Or not 16, let's say 14. You just play for points. You have to play the point. Get the points. In the red zone, don't have it. Hey, just get the points.
I would say the most respectable, talented quarterback y'all have played this year is probably Tanner Mordecai.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the best quarterback y'all have played so far this season.
Mordecai. Bean, I don't know about. We're gonna have to learn about Bean later. Well, it's too late in the year. I say Bean, because Bean was a starter, but it is different offense with Jalen Daniels in there.
This is actually crazy. Literally every single one of y'all's games this year in conference, except y'all didn't hurt JT Daniels.
That too.
There you go. Y'all didn't hurt JT Daniels.
See, this is how you know this game is going to be spicy. We haven't even talked about Gary Patterson yet, and everybody in the comments is going in on. Look at my man CFB picks over here. Y'all heard Quinn. We want blood. We out for blood. Yo, Jared Wiley out for blood on TCU. Gary Patterson out for blood.
Like that.
Oh man,
I don't do Temple Paul Wall like that.
Temple Paul Wall is crazy. Jared Temple Paul Wall. Oh man,
Jared
I'll be honest.
Wiley.
I wonder what
Karen.
you guys think.
We have a debut. We have a debut.
There we go.
Uh-oh.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Oh my goodness.
He ain't got the shades on. PNB Rock, baby.
Couch coordinator. He got to get the mic going though.
We can't hear you, brother.
J Bass got money.
Sound like looks like you rapping or something.
That's PNB Rock. That's why it's PNB Rock right there.
Yeah.
We got Jay Bass, the one, the man, the myth, the legend in here. So he's getting his audio together. Well, you let us know when you hear us, brother.
I got the green screen up.
Y'all ready to talk about as Bass gets ready? Y'all ready to talk about GP?
I know I am.
Yes, man.
Go ahead, Karen.
Look, all I know, if Gary Patterson isn't, I don't care if it's going to be 51 degrees at nighttime. I better see that man dripping in sweat because I know the camera's going to be on him a lot. I better see him soaking, just dripping, just musty, disgusting. I mean, every word he speaks, it better be flying off him. I better see him fire hydrant red on the sidelines. I want to see all of that. And if I don't, get his ass out of here because he don't want it enough. Because that is exactly, I'm being honest with you. Year after year, it was raining in 2018. He was on the sidelines, red as hell, wiping his head with sweat. I don't want to hear it. He better come up just as fired up for this game as he was against us. That was his Super Bowl year after year. It saved his job a couple years. I don't want to see this, man. Not coaching his he can't even coach. He just better be on everybody's ass. I better see him yelling at the players that are just like, Coach, we didn't even talk about nothing this week. Why are you coming to me sideways? You gotta be better than that. I need to see it. I need to see that sort of ferocity, that sort of intensity on the sidelines this week. And if it's not there, get his ass out of here because he don't want it bad enough. That's just how I feel about Gary Patterson. That's all I'm saying. But go ahead, Trey. Tell me what you expecting of your old coach.
My man he left the kids, man. Now I'm playing. All right, so it was like the narrative. It's kind of like what he preached about the underdog mentality that still lingers there. But it's like that's the job we didn't want him to take. Any TCU fan will tell you that's the job we didn't want him to take because it's like you preach this for years, like, hey, you're the underdog. Don't ever go to the big, like, jump on the bandwagon. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's business. So some of the kids looking at it like, dang, you preach this for years and now you over there is up. But also you have to think about this. Gary, I don't care. He's a GOAT. I don't care what no one says. They can hate him. We don't. Gary Patterson was that like hard-nosed dad. They just like always is in you. But Sonny Dykes is like that cool uncle that you just don't want to disappoint. He's just cool as a fan, but he's like, dang, I just don't want to disappoint. So it's gonna be fun because Travis Thompson and Robinson. Hodges, my fault. That's why he got a scholarship because of Gary Patterson. Of course, his uncle, but that's why he got it. So he's gonna play hard. D. Winters out of Burton, Texas, was because of Gary Patterson. They didn't found him. So it's going to be
that
funny.
Visor off the same way. He better be tugging at them pants. I better see just the most burnt orange you've ever seen because he sweat through the damn shirt. That's all I'm saying.
You're gonna have two shirts.
I'll tell you this though. I do think the players are gonna be just as fired up to play him as he is to coach against his former team.
I agree.
Stevie, you were talking about that the other night. I'll let you take that one.
Yeah, man. I mean, when you think about the GP situation, he came here after being fired, obviously from from TCU, but he had the opportunity to do like Coach O did and finish out the year, right? Finish with the kids. He elected to, he elected to say, you know what, y'all gonna fire me, which a lot of us would do, especially in the professional world. You about to fire me, I'm out, right? But as Trey said, 80% of the players are coming back. You have a roster. All these guys are a part of that team that didn't win. And so now they're facing a coach essentially like, yo, you bounced on us. Like you didn't finish. Like you guys preach, like even if you're gonna hit the portal or if you're gonna redshirt or whatever your situation is, finish the year, finish the fight, finish the season. And so I think a lot of those kids in that on the TCU side and why this matchup is so intriguing, on top of TCU fighting for the playoffs, on top of college game day, on top of all the attention, now TCU is in the top four, it's personal. You brought me to Fort Worth. You gave me that scholarship and then you left and we weren't successful with you. So I think that energy does go both ways. I'm gonna try to get Jay Bass in here again. Jay Bass, what's up, man?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Already.
You
All
sound
right, all right.
you sound brilliant, brother. You got the
Hey,
best
man, I
mic on here.
appreciate. I mean, I had a little experience in media. I would hope I wouldn't cause too much of a delay here, but I'm just trying to add to the conversation. That's all.
Amen, brother. So I want, first off, you're making your debut on Fanatic Perspective. We are blessed and honored to have your presence here, my
It's
brother.
a privilege to be here with such smart individuals regarding the Texas program and outside of the Texas program.
We already got your stuff set up there, man. I want to hear from you, brother. I'm gonna even give you the solo screen. For
Uh-oh.
those of you out there that don't know who Jay Bass is, please, CC Mr. underscore fresh underscore water. Please go follow him on Twitter right now, right now. But Jay Bass, I'm gonna let you roll, man. Just your thoughts heading into this game, your energy. Kieran and I are in a weird
Okay.
spot. I'm gonna kind of set the tone.
Okay.
Kieran is more so more concerned. Typically, Kieran's the optimist and I'm the pessimistic realist. We have flip sides. It has been in my spirit, brother. I've prayed on it. I've received it. We are going to kick TCU's ass. I've
Hey,
felt this way for weeks.
I'm
I
with it.
don't know why. I always said in my mind, if we got past K-State, we're going to whoop because I know how our team is when we see somebody coming in 9-0 the whole bit. Kieran's worried. Kieran's actually worried from a football perspective and the matchup. So, brother, where do you fall here? I'm gonna let you go.
Man, I appreciate it. I've actually been sitting in the background this year. I said I was going to start my podcast. I was going to get out there and talk about Texas, and that feeling came over me where I just wanted to see it this year. I didn't want to buy into the hype. I didn't want to buy into the fandom. I didn't want to buy into any narratives. I just wanted to go by the black and white. What is Texas showing on the field? Is it progression? Is it, upward trajectory? Like what is going on with the football team? Because it's been a long time since we have been, that preeminent power in the college football arena. So just going into this game, we're heading down this stretch. I'm feeling really good. The team I think is playing very well. I think there have been growing pains, but as long as you don't get lost in the weeds, this is about as we expected as far as the second year progression. I predicted anyway a 9-3 season. If we win out, we will definitely reach that goal, and hopefully with the conference championship or at least a bowl win, we'll surpass it. In this game specifically, if you look at the matchup, we stopped the run very well. And I don't know if the natural elements are going to play a factor. There's some conflicting reports as far as rain, as far as cold. But if TCU, I felt this way going into the Kansas State game, we would be able to stop their run game, and that would be the ultimate difference. You look at what we did against Deuce Vaughn, we pretty much shut him down, surprisingly. So going into this game, if TCU wants to establish the run game, I think that would be a terrible strategy for them. I think that would be wonderful for us. Earlier today, I had a prediction on the game as far as what I thought the outcome would be. I'm sticking with the over. I think there's some question marks and some wrinkles we're still trying to iron out in the secondary. PK obviously prefers a bend but don't break defense. He uses that cover four shell. I if I had to guess, probably because the analytics say you want to prevent the big play, and that's sort of been his philosophy, all the way back at Washington. So we just kind of have to live with those underneath routes that have been driving all of us crazy, but at least we haven't given up the big play that often this year. So I expect TCU to have some success throwing the ball, especially in the intermediate. I expect them to put up yards and to score a few points. The question for me is, and this is something we've been trying to watch all year, is what is going on in the second half. If you look at the numbers, we actually run the ball better in the second half. We have a higher yards per carry. We have a high number of attempts. So it's not so much that we're not running it. It's just that I think there's some sort of inefficiency going on in the pass game, which is critical in Sark's offense. If you look at our passing numbers in the second half, they are abysmal, and they get worse as the game gets through the third and fourth quarter. So we like to make football complicated, but at the end of the day, in the second half, we're going to have to be very good on third downs. We're going to have to be specifically in the second half, we're going to have to win the turnover margin, and we have to have sustained drives. And if this offense is firing out on all cylinders, because you're going to have to score points to beat TCU, if we're firing on all cylinders, I think we play the complete game that we've shown that we can at home, and we pull off the major victory, and the recruiting dam breaks. I think it's going to be a monumental overflow of recruits coming into town.
Amen, Jay Bass. Amen about the recruiting. I do want to get back to that here in a second. We got Brandon here in the chat from San Antonio, our good friend, Along the Wire podcast, who came on and held us down during UTSA week.
Okay.
Thank you for the super chat, my brother. Said Ewers can make the throws. He can't run the offense yet. We did make the designation about that earlier. He knows the plays, but he's not running the full offense just yet. But needs to make plays that can, keep him in groove. Make Duggan use arm, not legs. And is that Westlake is greater than Duncanville? So he's Kieran.
Uh-oh. I feel somebody getting triggered right now.
Look at his face. Got him mid-chew. Shout out to Jaquindon Jackson, short yardage running back over at Utah, getting it done. Shout out to
my boy Jaquindon. Jaquindon's going to take over the Pac-12 next year, especially after getting a year to be a running back. I thought that was a move that he could have made over here. I mean, I think he's an explosive runner. I've been telling people. I mean, I've told you this too. I was just like, that's Derrick Henry waiting right there. He just hasn't had the opportunity yet, but I'm excited to see what he can do over there. So that's an exciting little revelation that Utah has done. Good move. But Duncanville's beating the shit out of Westlake. Anyway.
So Quentin said I should put back up his super chat. Quentin, thank you for the donation, my brother. As always, I will take your bread. Thank you kindly. Jay Bass. So now he wants Jay Bass to address this question. Jay Bass, can you see Quentin's super chat on there?
Let's take a look. Who cares about the yardage if they can't get in the end zone weekend? Yes. Is this PK or is this Quentin? Because y'all are on one accord. That's the pro of the defense. Who cares about yards? Yards don't win games. Points do. I completely agree. And when PK's defense at UW, if you go look at those stats, they gave up a ton of yards, especially in the run game. Mind you, they played some very good Russian teams at the time, but at the end of the day, everyone always remembers the points per game total. We're lacking a little bit of depth, honestly. We're lacking just some experience overall, especially in key positions like, with Anthony Cook being down at safety. Jalen Ford has come a long way. I mean, he is playing out of his mind, but it's still, he's still relatively young. So with experience, with depth, you'll start to see more what's the best way to put it? Aggressive plays from our defense. You'll start to see quicker responses in the zone coverage, which I think we just haven't seen to this point. But overall, I mean, we're talking about a defense that was worse than school history, and then against the run, they're maybe like top 20, top 25. Like this, it's a profound progression. So we'll see how it goes. I love the way the defense is playing though.
And that's the
So
thing. You need talent to play aggressive defense, like you said, Jay.
Right.
It's like you really need the talent everywhere to be able to play close to the line of scrimmage, to play man coverage, to take away the easy reads, to take away the easy offense. You know what I mean? To not play zone coverage as much. That's what LSU, Bama, Georgia were capable of doing year in and year out because they had NFL type DBs and top first, second round draft picks out there. But yeah, I completely agree with what you're saying there.
So I want to share some stats on the screen for us to kind of take a look at and diagnose. Before we do that, and thank you guys for the wonderful donations. All the comments in here. We got 268 in here right now from my view. Make sure you hit the like button. Let's get up to 300. It helps us with the algorithm. It helps recognize us. You guys have been amazing in this chat today. We're up to 275 now, so I don't know what the hell just happened. But it's a wonderful moment right here to take a quick commercial break and recognize our brand new sponsor, Last Stand Hats, laststandhats.com/Fanatic Perspective. And you guys go check out Last Stand Hats. I got my Last Stand hat on right now. I got another one right here. Many people that are looking for gear for game day. You want to be right for the tailgate, got the polo on, got the whole bit, suited and booted. Let laststandhats.com/Fanatic Perspective take care of you. And here's the good news, y'all. Promo code Fanatic10, 10% off at checkout. Punch that in, get your Last Stand hat. A lot of us already got the all gas, no break drinks. We are definitely going to have to go all gas, no breaks in this game. We can't have a 31-point first half and a 3-point second half anymore. We gotta be, Trey's over here drinking holy water.
Jesus,
I'm not sure. My guy. You know what, Trey? I will give you guys credit. Speaking of all gas, no breaks, I think your lowest point total this year is 34 points on the season, which was last week against Texas Tech. You guys are top 5 in scoring. Typically around that 43 point per game mark. And that's a challenge for us, right? Because we have no problem getting 30 in the first half. It's that second tilt, right? Which we'll keep harping on until we see change, until we see that progression and we handle our business over the course of 4 quarters. Let me bring up some of the stats here just to share with everybody. So Jay Bass mentioned our success on rundowns, which I thought was really interesting. And I'm going to make this a lot bigger so we can see. But I think this stuff is really key here, y'all, because when you look at where we were as a group last year, and is this big enough? I can make it bigger. There we go. When we look at in the country right now, right? Like yards per rush, 3.4, right? You're top 20. We can't do anything about rush percentage or rushes per game, but rush yards per game, 28th, right? And so we've done a good job of holding that down. I actually think we've done a better job than we realize, even against mobile quarterbacks over the course of a whole game. Now, we've been victimized. I mean, I'm still, but Frank Harris and all those guys, but Frank Harris, I think, is top 5 in Pro Football Focus college quarterback grades in the country right now, believe it or not. So we faced some really, really good skill guys. The Bryce Youngs that move around who don't really scramble as much, but we've done a good job holding it down against the run. And then you look at our run game. Look at this, 13th. Yards per rush, 5.3. Yards per game, we're in the, we could probably even be higher than that if we ran it more. So the stats are favorable here, I think, for Texas. Now, I got TCU stats pulled up here as well, Trey, but anything, Karen, Bass, Trey, y'all want to speak to, just in terms of the numbers? I got them all here for Texas right now.
I think I do want to have a deeper conversation about what PK has done. obviously, you know me. I've been standing in the paint for PK. I think everybody likes throwing him under the bus early on. But what we have done, stopping the run, making teams one-dimensional is a huge part of the battle to playing winning football. I think everyone knows that. When we were good in 2017, when we were good in 2018, especially in 2018, the last time we played in the Big 12 championship, we were capable of taking away everyone's run game. And making a team one-dimensional helps you immensely, especially last year when we couldn't do either. Like, you couldn't take away the run, you couldn't stop the pass, whatever it was. But our ability to take away the run game, especially doing it last week against what I think is probably one of the best, if not the best, rushing attack outside of us in the conference with Adrian Martinez and Deuce Vaughn. It's been phenomenal. It's been a revelation, and it allows us to play winning football. We have opportunities to win every single one of these games. We haven't been in a situation where we haven't been capable of capitalizing on opportunities that the defense is created. And when I see these numbers, I like what I'm really looking at is just like, man, our opponents' points per game. We're getting up 21.8 points per game. If I would have told you we were doing that in the offseason, what would you guys say? If I would have told you we were top 60 in opponents' yards per game, what would you guys say? If I told you we were top 30 in the country against the run, what would you guys say? Damn, sounds like we're going to have a really good year. Sounds like not only is the defense doing a good job, we're overachieving.
Dude, we were talking about how many spaces were all four of us in, talking about if we could just be a top 65 group. If we could just, be average. This is well above average in a lot of these metrics here. And I mean, PK, for all of the gripes and everything, and look, I know people are going to hone in on that third down and that fourth down.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad.
But overall, man, I am very, very pleased with the progress made. If we look at it from a macro perspective, I completely agree, Karen.
My thing is this defense good enough to win a Big 12 championship?
Absolutely.
Yes. And that's exactly what you want. That was what your goal was this year was we want a defense that can win a Big 12 championship. You weren't a national title contender. It's not a national title contending defense. It's not. And I understand that's the expectation at Texas because yada, yada, yada. But our goal this year was to make it to Arlington and win a Big 12 championship. And the defense has done their job this year. They have. Obviously, we've struggled on third down and fourth down. God. The Tech game, the Iowa State game, that sucks. Obviously, things that we need to get better at. But also, we got guys moving around, guys in new positions, guys that don't have as much familiarity with the system as we would like, So I think us shoring up that soft zone coverage, that's our one flaw. That's our one kryptonite, our biggest issue right now is that. And then also I would say finishing whenever we get to the quarterback because we lead the country in pressures, but I bet we're not even remotely close whenever it comes to sacks.
We're 95th in sack percentage. You know what's interesting? You know what's interesting here? We're opponents' pass percentage, right? So like how many times people are throwing against us. So we're averaging 39 attempts against the defense in the pass game, right? Which is 126 in the country. And then the percentage of plays that are called against us are pass, which is 53, which is 111th. That means we're winning the game most of the time. Yes. Like by a lot if people are throwing like this. You see what I'm saying? This number is high because you're in the lead.
And empty calorie yards. That's what I call them. Because you're in the lead. You got to throw your way back into the game. So it's like an empty calorie.
The one thing that the one thing that upsets me the most about this defensive unit is the second statistic on the right. Opponent's completion percentage. This is that Superman type shit that I'm talking about whenever these quarterbacks come in and they always look amazing. How many times do you see in the first quarter at the end of the first half, a quarterback has a stat line of like 10 or 12. I tweeted this the other day. I was like, their stat line's always like 10 to 12, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns, but they might throw a pick or something. I don't know, whatever it is, there's something about our soft zone coverage. There's something about this defense and this scheme, especially in the pass game, that just allows for easy reads and easy completions and quick yards. And like you said, I'm okay with giving that up if you're not giving up touchdowns at the end of these drives. And that's what we've shown we do. We are capable of stopping these teams. And also, in the second half, we get a whole lot better whenever it comes to that. We have. So I just think we play good enough football to rely on what our strength should be, which is our offense. That should be consistent for 4 quarters. but they're not right now, which is why I think we have 3 losses.
No, and just to piggyback on all of those things that y'all mentioned, I think one of the stat that I probably like to brag about the most is opportunity rate. And Texas is number 6. And so basically opportunity rate is when there's 4 yards available and basically the opposing offense is running the ball, do they get those 4 yards and how often? And we're talking about a run defense that is holding it down in the run defense category. Yes, there's going to be some, plays given up in the passing game. It's a passing league, it's a passing sport for that matter. But at the end of the day, can you stop the run? Because that is the most physically imposing way to control the football game. And I think they're doing an excellent job. How long have we been waiting for Coburn to reach his peak? Or for not just him, all of those interior guys.
Mm-hmm.
All of them.
And
So they're all playing well.
Absolutely. So you're talking about significant progress. Some mocks have Coburn going in the first round, guys. That is insane to think about.
Yeah.
So when you're able to do that and make a team one-dimensional and then couple that with a explosive offense, that's what I said. If this offense is flying on high gear, look out. Look out. It's up from here. That's all I got to say. It's up.
So when you look at, going back to our offense, though, I'll bring it up again. I think we got to be better than 36 PPG with the talent we got. Like if you really kind of hone in on the Texas offense, 31 of that is coming like in the first half. Like you know what I mean? Like our metrics are good, right? Points per play. And in the advanced things and stuff, even if you look at, individual player grades, it's all excellent. But we've got to, this number, we need to have a 50 burger game. TCU is consistently living at 45 points, 48 points. We got to score in this football game. And I think we can. I think the opportunities are there. We have seen this type of defense multiple times now.
Take a look at this line from Kansas State. Deuce Vaughn, 19 carries, 73 yards, 3.8 per attempt. If I would have told you that going into the game, you would say we run away with it. Because that is astounding. A player of that caliber, and we hold him to less than 4 yards a carry and no touchdowns. The numbers speak for themselves.
No, that's true. It's like, are we going to take what is given to us? Because y'all play that soft shell defense. Am I going to run a lot of? And this what got PK in trouble when he was at Boise State. When Meacham was at the helm, Meacham does a lot of double moves. So you want to give him those 5-yard slants, those 5-yard digs. Well, guess what happened? You have a corner out there that loves to jump. So what do? I'm gonna double move him early to keep him honest. So that through the game, it's gonna be guessing. What do we do? That's the thing. That's all I say. It's trouble because we also play into our opponent's hands in the first half. We don't get points when they're needed. Can we keep the game within 10 instead of digging ourselves with 14 points and like, you know what? Third and fourth quarter, we're gonna just pour it on you. And will they let Max Duggan get off script? Will they say, hey, I'm gonna let this leash go? We made you into a pocket read quarterback. Well, look, I don't want you to do that. I want to get you off the leash. And that's what killed Texas in years past because he will get off script and he'll start running around. How many quarterback runs we put him on? Keep the ends honest.
Honestly, last time Duggan was in Austin, you had Joseph Osai bearing down on him on maybe 7, 8, 9, 10 dropbacks. Right. And he's just making play after play after play because it was easy. And that's honestly a lot of where a lot of my fear comes from in this game. Because it's just like, if we're going to give him easy reads, we're going to give him easy completions. Bruh, he showed that he's okay. You get your best pass rusher in the past 4 or 5 years right in my face. I'm going to be able to diagnose that easy read. I'm going to be able to find wherever it is on the field that I need to hit. That, I don't know. It's
That's
concerning.
the thing.
Yeah.
And cool. When Texas gonna let us play a money game for PV? Look, give us the money. Come to DKR. We're gonna y'all out at home at halftime and leave some good barbecue in the parking lot. Let us come on. Let the Martian Storm come. Just let us come one time. One FCS opponent. Then we gotta give a good like 900K.
It's not gonna happen.
Like 800. You take the money. We'll get a good show. We'll get you some good food. Look, we're gonna teach y'all the cha-cha slide and the Cuban shuffle. We all gonna do that in the stands.
Kane Wayne with it.
We're gonna K Wayne with it. All right. Come on, just give us one game.
Hey, I just did some numbers too, looking at our what we've done in conference this year and the 6 games that we've had. Speaking about that, like points per game average, right? We have averaged 35.5 points per game in conference this year. And in the first half, we have averaged 26 points. We are averaging 9.5 points in the second half of these games.
And that's like with the OU game in there.
Yeah, and that's with the OU game in there. And honestly, at the OU game, we didn't even really have it as open as we should have. It was only 28 in the first half in that game. But like you said, the other 21 that we had at the end of that were all in the second half. You take away the 3 touchdowns that we scored in the second half against Oklahoma, we scored 3 touchdowns in the second half against conference opponents the entire season. That's unacceptable. Whatever it is that you got to get past or whatever it is that you got to figure it out, you got to figure it out this week. Because my thing is TCU's not going to be a team, especially in the second half of these football games, that are just getting stopped. I don't see that happening, especially whenever you give them 2-3 quarters to figure out what it is that we're doing defensively. I think I have serious concerns about it. And honestly, I would hate for this game to go the way that it would have to go for TCU to win, which is essentially us getting up to another big lead and then blowing the second half lead.
So check this out really quick, because I touched on it earlier, but I want to give you the exact details. If you look at our situational splits in the run game, we run the ball 94. We have 94 attempts in the fourth quarter. That's the most of any quarter. We average 5.24 yards per carry. So, I mean, and even if you look at the third quarter, we run it. At least we've had 78 attempts on 387 yards, 4.96 yards a carry. And so that is that's an astonishing number to me anyway, for a team that's struggling to score in the second half. But if you contrast those numbers next to our passing output for the second half, you're talking about, and I look at completion percentage specifically just because I want to see exactly how efficient we've been. In the fourth quarter, we are 24 of 43 for 55.8. In the third quarter, we're 37 of 67 for 55.2. Now compare that to the first 2 quarters, the first quarter being 65 and the second quarter being 67. So there's a dramatic drop off in our efficiency and effectiveness in the passing game alone. And I think primarily we see that especially on third downs when we're, so quick to get off the field and so quick to give the other team the ball, and then they go down and score. And so, it's just honestly, I believe it's just a part of those growing pains. Quinn's not able to make the audibles at the line of scrimmage in the second half once the defensive coordinator rather has made those adjustments. He's not able to take on the game himself. So, and he's got a group of young old linemen in front of him, and who knows how well they are picking up the adjustments. So, it's just growing pains.
Good point.
Everybody needs to chill. We're doing very, very well with the amount of youth we have on the offensive side.
And Jay Bass, y'all are on script. So, like you're saying, y'all are on script with the growing pains. This is about growing pains. It's like this. And this is how I know it's growing pains from even playing. If Quinn is hitting his first read and not taking his eyes off of anything else, a coach is telling him this: throw the ball here. Now, there have been no teams so far, none, that has made him get off their first read and you're going to go through your progression, because it's also with the good protection of y'all's line. So what happened if someone starts jumping routes? What's going to happen? Because you seen one of them was probably the smartest. I say this, he's the smartest safety in the conference. Is
Jason Taylor.
Jason Taylor is the smart. When he got the first pick, he baited Quinn, and then his late pick, he comes out, he's baiting Quinn again, but he knows. So he said, "Hey, when in doubt, he's gonna throw it down the sideline to Jatavian. He comes flying over there and jumps it. He did it in 2021. He baited Casey Thompson and cribbed it. It's just growing pains.
I do think that's a natural element of all young quarterbacks. And Kieran said it earlier with Sam Ellinger. Um, and it's expected. I would be shocked if Quinn Ewers could run the offense so effectively, make all the checks, do everything at the line of scrimmage after missing multiple games with injury, after coming here just for really essentially one off season and a very complicated offense. This isn't Sark's system, which is constantly evolving. They're changing route concepts almost weekly, and one of the reasons why it is so effective is he can evolve and tailor his game plan specifically to how he wants to attack his opponent, so that complexity is there. But Quinn Ewers, my challenge to him is in the offseason, he needs to take ownership that this is my offense. I need to know the ins and outs. We need to be a brain trust. Right now, I'm a weapon running your offense. I'm running your plays. But the offense, and granted, the offense is built around the run. I mean, Steve Sarkisian hasn't lied when he said we're a running team.
Oh yeah.
He has said that since the offseason. So that's not a surprise. And whenever he is most comfortable on the road, especially, is when he's like, hey, we're just going to run the hell out of the football. So I don't blame him. But to get to the point of avoiding these problems and allowing a quarterback to problem solve at the line of scrimmage, said quarterback needs to have a very firm understanding of the offense. It's not Steve Sarkisian and a lot of his if you watch the coaching clinics videos, he'll say a player can get to a point where they understand intent. I'm calling a play and you can almost finish the play call, right? Because oh, okay, I know what he wants to do. And I know if we get this look, I know how to fix it. That's where Bryce Young is at, right? The elite guys in college. And you see guys in college football get to that point. It's just football, learning, reps, seeing stuff, studying. The physical is there though. And we can already win a lot and do a lot, and we are doing a lot just with where he's at right now. So that development process will come, but I get it. People watching the game, I see Quinn's comment in the chat, and I see it. Hey guys, we're frustrated that we got 9 people in the box and we don't check out of it. I get it.
Yeah.
The coach has to try to alleviate some of those things too right now until we're all the way up to speed with the offensive line as well as the quarterback fully having ownership and command of the entire offense. But that comes with time.
Ooh.
The other thing I want to say one more thing too, just because I just saw Max Duggan's name. There is a point to be said. Surfer boy, stop it, okay? You are riding on cloud 9 with Stetson right now. You are riding on Stetson.
You know what's crazy? You know what's really crazy? Stetson Bennett about to leave Georgia with 2 national titles, and Bryce Young's about to leave Alabama as the only multi-year starter in Alabama's entire Nick Saban tenure to not leave with a national championship.
Yeah,
That's
crazy.
insane. That's insane.
How unfair is it to Bryce Young that he doesn't, you don't get to pair him with Steve Sarkisian? Like, just imagine.
That's who he came to play for too.
Yeah, that was his boy.
That was his boy. But now they got a coach that probably, like I always say, that will trade the whole entire Alabama receiving corps for a bag of beaver nuggets at Buc-ee's and maybe go trade him for a Whataburger #1 if Bill O'Brien could do it.
No,
That's what he would go to Nick Saban and say, look, I want a bag. Look, give me a Whataburger #1 and a gift card and some beaver nuggets from Buc-ee's. We'll get all of them out of here and go get some FCS receivers or something. It's terrible what he's going through.
Yeah, I just, and to draw that back to the Texas thing, right? I don't want to be sitting here and say Quinn leaves after next season, which I think we all hope that Quinn is gone after next season, because that means he's developed into being the NFL draft prospect that we all think that he is and that he can be. But I think what you're seeing right now is he has a lot of work to do. He's young. He has a lot of work to do. And he gets the rare privilege of being like that, like next year, timing wise, when you look at him, it's supposed to be his like redshirt freshman year that you start seeing like all the very naturally talented, like super duper gifted quarterbacks just go out there and perform up to their maximum ability. Bryce Young, Jameis Winston, Johnny Manziel, CJ Stroud, all these quarterbacks that like Justin Fields, you know what I mean? All these quarterbacks that get that year to redshirt, focus on themselves, then they get to go out there and perform. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that's what happens. And like you said, it's a quarterback-friendly system, but it's not an easy system to learn. It's not an easy system to operate in if you don't have the tools and the processing speed necessary to be able to get through it. You know what I mean? So right. I feel like not Justin. Quinn has every opportunity next year. I think he's going to have even more weapons around him. I think we're going to have even better, more protective offensive line in front of him. It's going to be a good situation for Quinn next year to go out there and ball. But this year, right now, what you're asking him to do, you're starting to see progression week in and week out, and that's really what I want to see. And I feel like as a fan base, we expect so much out of him. You know what I mean? He went out there. He looked good in that quarter against Bama. He went out against Oklahoma, threw 4 touchdown passes, made some elite NFL type throws. But I think the thing that I think all of us can see right now, and anyone that like has a real trained eye for football and quarterback play, he's not there yet in terms of his progression, in terms of his processing speed. He's not there yet. He can be there, but he also looks like a young quarterback. And like you said, Steven, like he has all of the arm talent in the world, and you can ask him to make any throw on the football field. So that allows you to scheme up some stuff that you wouldn't be able to otherwise. And that's where I think we really need to go towards Steve Sarkisian's strengths. How does he put Quinn Ewers in the best position possible to make the most plays? He has this crazy talented arm. He has this ridiculous ability. And I think you're starting to see him try to do that. He hasn't been able to connect on deep shots this year. I think that's something that none of us expected. None of us expected. And honestly, I think this team would be even further along right now if he was capable of connecting on those deep shots too. I think we might be a 7 points better team in the second half of these games if he is capable of connecting on 1 or 2 of those deep shots. Not 1 or 2, but like per game, 1 or 2 of those deep shots.
I think
that he's just missing.
I think it's a collective issue though, Karen, with the deep shots. There's a ball tracking issue at Texas. There's a issue where our timing, for whatever reason, I've never felt like the timing is. I don't know what it's on, right?
Like I feel like he rushes throws, and then some he's just late on. Like even in that even in the game against OU, we had Brennan and Zay wide open. He just needs, if he was going to Zay, that needed to be exactly. Mm-hmm. If he was going to Zay, it needed to be quicker, and he ended up releasing it late. Ended up throwing it to the back of the end zone. Obviously, that's a game where we were just completely smacking the shit out of them. But it's those types of plays that are the difference between a team that has 3 losses and a championship level team. And those are throws that you saw Stetson Bennett this past weekend. When he got a guy open downfield, he hit him. And that's a walk-on who we all trash and make fun of. Stetson Bennett hit his shots in the national championship game, did he not?
It had like Hendon 50 Hooker. Air yards.
Exactly. Hendon Hooker, when he outside of the Georgia game where he struggled, he's hit those throws. He's made those against LSU. He hit him against Bama. He hit him. That's the difference between, and like, yes, I get it. Quinn has all the talent in the world. He's going to get there. I do believe he's going to be able to hit those deep shots, but you have to figure that out if you're going to win comfortably. If you're going to be a team that lives up to your potential, those are the plays that you have to make.
But those are older, like you said, it's a time where those are mature quarterbacks, like age-wise and mature. They've been in the system long enough. So I would say that. Do y'all would say this is kind of like, I'm going to go back to the high school race, and y'all going to probably kill me for this. The perfect rating and what the pressure you put on these kids to come out. You forget that these kids still 18, 19 years old. I still got to go to class. I still got to go home, go do homework. Then I got to do film study. I still have to do different things. Now, granted, you do have exceptions like Drake. Like I think Drake May he's a redshirt, right?
Drake Mays is a redshirt freshman.
So like him and Dart, they had time in the system. Now Dart is just different because he had to go to a new system to learn it. But like Drake May, They've been
Dart
playing.
got to play too, and he was the backup at USC. It's not
Right.
like he was Quinn running scout
Right.
team. Like these are the first times he's actually getting real live college reps. Spring and then fall camp. Those are the first time he's getting like, I'm going against the ones right now, time in, time out, week in, week out. This is his developmental year. I think the real Quinn Ewers story is going to be written next season. But the thing is, I think we need to reel back those expectations. Even though we've seen glimpses of it, he's still so young. He's been in this offense for 8-9 months. And also, that's another thing with Steve Sarkisian too. We're getting on the second half things. We're getting on everything. He doesn't have a quarterback that's capable of making adjustments or has command of the offense right now. He doesn't.
I mean, he's almost calling the game with one of his arms tied behind his back.
Exactly.
Because you're talking about his system is so predicated on how well the QB plays. And granted, the results speak for themselves. He's put out numerous quarterbacks with fantastic numbers who's gone on to do great things. But just because Quinn had a perfect rating coming out doesn't mean he will play perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Everyone in here will acknowledge that Quinn Ewers is a more talented quarterback than Mac Jones. But
Right.
why was Mac Jones so electric in that system? Not electric, but like so just efficient. Because
He was another
capable of getting his
coach.
third and fourth. He was capable of going 1, 2, 3, 4. Got there.
Yep.
And quick. It's familiar.
Had significant playing time the year before.
Exactly.
He did. He came in for Tua, and I think the other thing with Sark, because if you remember, Sark with Tua was very heavily RPO based, very similar to what Tua has gotten back to this year with the Dolphins, and comfort, right, in terms of what he's good at: quick throws, processing, reading. His primary really kind of being the inside guys, and he evolved his scheme to work with Mac, which is more of what we're running now. Is more of, I would say, more of the stuff he did with Mac Jones and Billingsley and all those guys. But Quinn just has to take that ownership and get there, and that's going to take Steve developing him. That's going to also take Steve trusting him. I think there's some things that Quinn can do, but we don't know because Steve won't let him do it or won't give him that permission to do it yet.
Yep.
The reins.
Yep. Yeah, and I see David Williams. He put a comment, and on one hand, Sark's philosophy is let's push the ball down the field. Let's run the ball. Let's get the safeties to come down, and then let's throw the deep shot over the top. So that, I mean, you can't really, like, coaches really don't change in that manner. But I will acquiesce this point. I am surprised that we haven't seen as much RPOs, over Sark's tenure. I am surprised that we haven't seen a whole lot of things underneath. And to Fanatic's point, I think that's because he is basically calling the game for Quinn to the point where, a lot of those RPOs are reads, right? So he's calling it to a point where, basically this is where you're supposed to go with the ball. This is how the play is supposed to look. And let's run it like that until you just get more experience under your belt. And so I think that's just the way things have gone because he's young. Now, next year, I mean, if Quinn is out there, like y'all said, in full control and full command of that offense with the ability that he has and the talent that is coming in around him, oh my goodness.
I will say, I will say this too about Quinn and also Sark in this offense. Yes, he does need to do more. I think my biggest gripe with Sarkisian this year is not only do we get like worse offensively in the second half, but also why do we see certain plays in the first half, certain players touch the ball in the first half on script that we never see again? The past 2 weeks against Iowa State and against Oklahoma State, Iowa State, and last week against Kansas State, you ran beautiful RPOs to Jordan Whittington. You didn't hit on them this past week. One of them went right through Jordan Whittington's hand. He ended up getting the targeting call. Mm-hmm. Why do we not see those later on in the game, especially whenever they're committing 9 in the box to stop Bijan Robinson? I don't get it. Like to me, it's just you don't see Keelan Robinson touch the ball, and these are things that like I get it. Like you have Bijan Robinson, you have Roschon Johnson, you want to depend on them. You don't want to be, especially if the game gets tighter. But my thing is, you have so much in the toolbox. Why do we get limited? I think that's my biggest concern with everything.
No, I'm with you, and you have to fight the balance of being creative in the first quarter, where it's not as much on the line. And then also playing to your strengths in the second half when there's so much on the line. You know, because if you look at the analytics, like we have played a close game in every single game. There hasn't been a blowout like Iowa State and Arkansas from last year. There hasn't been, these games where Texas was basically out of it from the beginning. So as these games come down to the wire, conventional knowledge says, hey, let's run the football. Let's give the ball to our best player, and let's not put the ball in the hands of a freshman quarterback who may see something he's never seen. So, I mean, it's like, okay, yeah, it looks a little bit stale on one hand, absolutely. But on the other hand, it's like, okay, well, we need to make sure or give us the best chance to win, which is our more experienced, our more talented player.
I say, yeah, y'all got more this year, have more experience, and then now it's like, okay, we've been there before. Now y'all leadership is coming. It's kind of like, let's say, cream rises to the top. Y'all's leadership is rising to the top. Like, I don't really expect Quinn to come out here and be like, all right, look, we need to do this. He's not a rah-rah type of guy. And I always ask people, is a quarterback supposed to be your leader? He does not always have to be your leader, because Quinn is a lead by example type of kid. I'm not going to get too high. I'm not going to get too low. I'm going to stay mellow. Look, I need to get y'all up. We're going to get up. But, like, he'll come into the huddle and probably say, hey, we got this. Just calm down. But he's not there yet. And then, like, Steven, you said with Mac, we all said, even Steven, you point out with Mac Jones. Would it be crazy for me to tell you that Mac Jones had 2 bad balls that 2 a year, and he threw them in the same game in this versus Auburn, and after that it was like boom, he threw that pick 6 and he threw that last pick at the end. That was the only 2 balls bad on the whole year. Yep. So it's just going. It's like y'all are going in the right direction. It's just time.
And to your point about the leadership too, you don't need a rah-rah guy. You don't need a Jameis Winston eating W's. You know what I mean? Like, Marcus Mariota wasn't loud. Marcus Mariota was but guess what? Marcus Mariota knew the damn system. You know what I mean? And he ran it efficiently, and everybody else fell in line. They knew that he was going to be able to get them the ball. And that's the thing. Like, your quarterback's your point guard. He's the guy that can go out there. Like, Bryce Young, very, very. I mean, I don't see Bryce Young just getting in everybody's ass left, right, and center.
No, Bryce Young has that California vibe too.
He's cool.
Like, he's kind of cool. He's just a cool dude. But they respond to him. The kids respond to Quinn. I have no question about that. Yeah. They look, at the end of the day, they are, I'll put it this way, especially even with college kids. Everybody, yeah, they want to vibe, and it's cool that he can rap and all this type of stuff. But at the end of the day, everybody's trying to get to the league. We try and get our numbers. We trying to win. And we want the person that we feel can give us the best chance to win. We want the person that we feel is prepared. The kids know who's prepared and who's not. Okay? They see it in practice. They know who's been studying and who's not. And so they have gravitated to Quinn, and that has never been in question. From my vantage point, for all of us that cover this team, plugged into this team, that it's never, ever been in question. The thing is, I don't have any doubt that he can lead, even at Southlake. And some people may say, oh, it's high school, Steve, whatever. He seemed to have a very good command of whatever he wanted to do in that offense. The command was there. It doesn't have, like you guys said, it doesn't have to be rah-rah. It doesn't have to be Matt Ryan cussing people out like a maniac. Like, you can
get fucking shot. Yeah.
There's different ways to manage, you know. So I do want to talk recruiting real quick. Kieran and Jay, you know, especially now that we have Jay Bass in here. So this weekend, my goodness, the names. So did I hear correctly? Peyton Bowen is visiting now too?
Yes, Peyton Bowen's visiting. You got a laundry list. Peyton Bowen and his brother are visiting. If you can't get Peyton, I think Eli Bowen is a dog too. So I'd be trying to get him as well in the fold. But yeah, you have a list of visitors. You have Anthony Hill, obviously, Colton Vasek, the new commit. He's visiting as well. You also have some other. I had the list here. 1 second. Here it is, right here. Give me 1 second. But
I looked it up.
Yeah, you have so Deuce Robinson, tight end from Pinnacle in Arizona. He's visiting. DeAndre Moore, wide receiver from California at St. John Bosco. He's visiting now.
Is he committed to Louisville?
Yep, he's still committed to Louisville.
Okay.
So he's visiting. You got some offensive line recruits visiting this week. But then some of the other interesting ones, Jaden Grayhouse, the wide receiver from Austin Westlake, is visiting. Bravion Rogers, the corner that's committed to Texas A&M, decommitted, then recommitted within like 3 weeks or so. He's visiting. Obviously the Bowen brothers, and some other interesting like 24 recruits. Freddie DeBose, he's visiting. I think that kid wants to be a Longhorn. So
They're saying, hold on, they're saying, people in the chat saying Bowen's a good. Did Justin just say that?
Did they pull out?
So he. I think he had some event that's happening on Saturday. So I think the little brother's coming, but Eli. Now Eli's coming, Peyton's not.
Yeah, him and his mom will be at the game.
Yeah.
Apparently the coaches are gonna check in with him on Friday to find out exactly, when they can try to get him in during the weekend. Everyone seems to be guessing that he'll come in on Sunday at the worst. And so, but you never know. He may pop in on Saturday.
And another thing about because this is playoff time, it'd be ideal for him to come on a Sunday because in the next couple of weeks, his team is projected, in our projection at Texas Football Live, we're projecting them to make it to the state final. And then a lot of these games in about 2 to 3 weeks are on Saturday. So that's another thing to take account for.
Good point. Good point, Trey.
So that's why I say I think also, of course, come in on Sunday, get the visit in like that, but it's also playoff time. A lot of these kids is playoff time.
Oh yeah. And let me put a quick teaser out there. Stay close to your phones on Saturday. Stay close to your phones, your tablets, your computers, your media devices. I see you drinking that water, Trey. Getting nervous, I know.
I'm dehydrated.
It is about to turn up. So we'll see, what happens, but the next couple of weeks are going to be vital.
Yeah. I think there's a couple of players that we really want to make a push for. I mean, if we can get in the door for Tausili Akana, end up somehow winning that recruitment, oh man, you guys know how I feel about Edge. I think that's something that I'm extremely excited for as well. Yeah, Javian Toviano is going to be visiting too. I think that's
Queenie said Toviano's a double agent for LSU.
Yeah, Toviano getting some free tickets to the college game day ranked matchup.
Right. Somebody asked me apparently it was reported somewhere that he was upset he didn't get to make the Alabama game. And I was thinking to myself, okay, was he upset that he didn't get to enjoy the atmosphere? Because it seems like he's been to LSU a million times. Or is or is he upset that he didn't actually get to take an official visit? So we'll see. Maybe he'll get some free food, see his friends. But that one seems like it's all LSU, at least at this point.
Yeah.
But you never know.
Who knows? I just I like the fact that right now, you had Anthony Hill decommit, you had Colton Vasek decommit, and Colton Vasek committed to us today, but we're also in really good position for Anthony Hill as well. So defensively, we're recruiting now. This is exactly what we needed. I talked about this a little bit in the spaces, but we can't ask this program to be elite whenever you're missing on elite generational type talent in the state of Texas consistently. I'm sorry, you just can't. When you're missing on wide receiver talent like Garrett Wilson and Jalen Waddle and Evan Stewart, in these recruiting classes, and then you're asking yourself, well, why don't we have that much talent wide receiver? Come on, man, what are we doing? And then now you have in Anthony Hill, what I really think is a generational linebacker talent. Inside linebackers in the state of Texas have not been the same over the past 10, 15 years. They haven't been. You haven't found elite inside linebacker talent and prospects in the state of Texas like an Anthony Hill in a very long time. So the fact that we're right now in the thick of it.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I want you guys to speak to this. With Anthony Hill out of Denton Ryan, #1 rated linebacker in the country, what is the it factor with him that makes it different? Because it does seem as though, for me, his suddenness just jumps off the tape. And
can I say something?
Go ahead.
I think it's the fact that he's not playing running back and he's actually committed himself to playing inside linebacker. Unlike other guys with that same body type that would be playing quarterback or be playing running back in the state of Texas, he is a freaky athlete at 6'2", 225, 230, whatever he is, right? Mm-hmm. And he's capable of filling the hole. He's elite in coverage as well. The dude is an all-around inside linebacker and probably one of the most polished ones that I've seen out of high school in a very, very long time, especially at that size. So that was my take on it.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, I'm sorry, Trey. You can go ahead.
No, bro, you got your best.
I was just gonna say he's a football player, with incredible physical skills. I think he's tenacious. I think he enjoys like the violence per se. He enjoys the hitting. You don't have to worry about any physicality. Obviously, everyone said it a million times. He's got the athleticism to be good. I do wonder a little bit about his physical or his spatial awareness, especially in teams where they're trying to attack that intermediate area, and some of his lateral quickness. But the guy played running back, so he has it in him to at least be capable in space. But he's a rough and rugged, violent, just made in a laboratory type of linebacker that, as Kieran pointed out, hasn't come out of Texas in a while.
Y'all touched on all the points about the kid, but me, Kieran, we big track guys. When you're on a state runner-up 4x1 and 4x2, and you're a middle linebacker, you're different. And I know a lot of people are like 7-on-7. No, I want to see what you're gonna do in a different sport, but especially in track, because track's gonna test you a lot. So if you over here on your state 4x1 and 4x2, that means you can run. Your split is probably, depending what leg you are, if you're not the first or last, that's how you know your splits. Because the first and last leg, you really gonna run the full 100 or 200, whatever you're on. Your split looking like, shoot, 10, 5, 10,
Yeah, 10, 5, 10, 6.
10, 6. That means you run like a 10, maybe a 10, 8 to 100. My fault.
Yeah.
10, 8, 1.
I
That's
gotta
still fast.
I gotta take a sip because you just quoted Dion, and I noticed it low key.
Hey, you run.
Run. Yeah, nah. I mean,
How
the
about
kid's
having a
freak.
linebacker that isn't being transitioned from another position, like a
Yeah.
true linebacker? That we don't have to move from safety or we don't have to move from edge.
And people don't
Flipping
talk
Hager.
about how important that is in terms of what they look like early on, what you have to teach them and what you don't have to teach them. Jalen Ford played linebacker in high school. He was just undersized. He was slender. He had a smaller frame. He was like 200. He ended up adding on size. Phenomenal evaluation by Tom Herman in their group, by the way. I'll give him credit on that. Like that phenomenal evaluation with Jalen Ford. But you saw, even whenever he got playing time last year, who was the best linebacker that we had filling that damn hole? It was Jalen Ford, shooting gaps, not hesitating, because there's familiarity with all of that. So I think Anthony Hill is going to look like something we have not seen before at Texas, or haven't seen in a very long time. I'll say that much. This is the best linebacker prospect we've had in forever.
There's a super chat here. I don't want to miss it. Mason Root, thank you for your donation and watching and supporting us. You've donated before. Effort. Do you guys think effort has been significantly better under Sark than at the end of Mac, Charlie, Herman? My dad keeps going on and on about our effort is better, and I don't agree or disagree. I will say I think our effort at the end of the Kansas State game, especially defensively, was incredible. Especially my big guys selling out to the ball, and I think that coincides with the type of recruits we're looking to get, down the stream. So I do think the effort has been great. I don't know how it compares to. I'm trying to think. I mean, we've had issues in the past finishing, especially when guys quit on staffs. But our effort was fantastic in 2018. Some other years, so I don't know.
I think the effort's been absolutely phenomenal, and I'll prove it. If you look at the games that's been close, Alabama, right at the end, players quit. We know, obviously we can travel down that road. But if we just look at this year, when we needed to score at the end of the game, the offense went down and got that field goal. You look at Iowa State, when we needed a stop at the end, the defense stepped up and got the turnover. When you look at Oklahoma State, as bad as Quinn Ewers had been all game, and I understand how it ended with the interception. If you look at how he was throwing the ball on that last drive when we needed it the most, it was a pinpoint throw, that it just so happens JT, who was one of our most reliable receivers, it just goes off his hands. So
was not our day, bro.
Yeah, it's just one of those crazy things. But in totality, look at Kansas State. when we need a stop, we have to get it at the very end. The defense gets the turnover. So, it's always encouraging when the effort shows up in production. And I think that's what you're seeing this past year. In all of these close games, they are stepping up. They are trying their best. And, it's just a mix of, can you accept the growing pains along the process?
Yeah. I agree. I think Tom Herman's team played with a lot of effort, though. I think honestly, I think defensively you had times where they did look lazy, especially, I mean, man, sometimes later in the games or whenever they were hurt. I mean, it was just like, damn, you're just not fast enough and I'm not sure how much that was on Yancey McKnight's strength and conditioning program. If I'm speaking,
yeah, we have people.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, we have people going down or getting hurt or like pulling up. Like I don't remember people quitting.
No one quit.
Or
no one
not
quit on that
like.
team.
No, that's why the games were so close, frustratingly
Exactly.
so.
Yeah,
and
no
mental errors though too.
Charlie's teams quit. Charlie's teams would get punched in the mouth and be like, "All right, well, we're done." No, yeah, I'll be honest with you. Charlie's teams definitely quit. Last year we definitely had a lot of quit in us. Not gonna lie to you, we definitely had some. I mean, that Kansas State game, that was quit. Iowa State quit. Kansas quit. Especially on the defensive side of the ball. Them boys had a lot of quit in them. And I think
we quit
that's
a lot
why
last
you
year.
needed to exercise a lot of the demons that you had. This year, the only instance that I have of just like, damn, that was not like the effort that I thought was like later on in that Oklahoma State game when things didn't start going our way. And then they had the one touchdown. I forgot who it was, but then everybody's just like jogging to the ball. But I mean, you even saw Sark talk about that. It's just like whenever y'all run to the ball, good things happen. And the way we gang tackle this year, something like I haven't seen. The way we run to the football this year, something like I haven't seen in a very long time. Even when Todd Orlando was here, we didn't run to the football like we have this year. Right. So I don't know. And also on the offensive side of the ball, bro, we getting some people's asses, bro. Like this offensive line is going out there trying to shove people, punch people in the mouth. When I saw Jatavian Sanders slinging a dude from UTSA down and then putting his hands in his chest and pressing him in to like get up, like that's the nastiness that I'm talking about. I think this team has a lot of dog in them. I think they have a lot of effort that they're out there giving. So I don't know.
I want to address a couple of things here, Karen, real quick because I want to wrap up here. Y'all been on here forever, and I know it's late, and I really appreciate it. But we still got 246 in here riding with us, almost 2 hours in. Guys, hit that like button, show some love, support the channel, support all these content creators in here. Before people hop off, I do want to give a shout out to Trey at Texas Football Life, being on here, being a good sport with us, breaking down TCU, but also doing, the Lord's work covering high school ball. So follow him on all platforms. Trey, we appreciate y'all over at Texas Football Life. We got the day.
Y'all let me in.
Oh, absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Like I said, you're family, so I have to, right? It's an obligation. But you're also a great hang and a great friend, so it's easy. Right. Easy money. Jay Bass in here making his debut. We got it. I just want more Jay Bass content, period. And
first video dropping tomorrow.
Amen. Let's go. Let's go. He's got the setup. He's got the brand on social media. He's going to grow in no time. So
Elon, give me the check, Elon. Give me the check. I just need that. That's the only thing. Give me the check. Let these boys know I'm not playing.
And we know we got a celeb in here rocking with us, and Mr. Karen. So, it's always a blessing to have him on here. One day we will be either on his platform or his network, trying to get a dime and a nickel.
How you think I got in here? I saw Kieran. I was like, oh, let me join. Please let me in. Let me get some of them followers.
So a little conversation here about the backers in this class. David Williams pushed back a little bit, and David, you've been great in here, making great comments, and this is what we have the chat for. We want to have a discourse, right? If you don't agree with something, let's talk about it. And it's not even necessarily disagreeing or pushing a one recruit down to lift up like anything like that. It's just that I think he's saying like Samaje Burrell is, that guy. And a lot of the things you guys described about Anthony Hill, I think what David Williams is basically implying is he has a lot of those traits. Why aren't we talking more about Samaje Burrell?
I can give you one because that's the one that's like you have those developmental players. He's the one that's gonna be that. Okay, y'all want to keep talking about this person? Like, okay, I'm gonna show you. That's the kid that you gonna have. It's like that. He has a walk on mentality. That's his mentality. DJ Screw is what he look like. But that's his mentality. So that's what y'all gonna have. So that's a good get.
Yeah, I do. I think we have some. I mean, if you cut on Leona Lefau's tape too, kid's a solid linebacker, bro. Kid's a really solid linebacker. Like I think these guys, especially Leona, Samaje, I have a lot of faith in, especially like long term, being able to develop into a real contributor for the football team. But I think these guys are different. The guys that we're recruiting right now, they're a little different. I think they're gonna turn some heads, especially whenever they show up on campus. Especially if they show up as early enrollees. I think there's some positions where these kids really need to start coming in a little bit earlier. You know what I mean? Because honestly, I think the offensive line this past year, I think if they would have came in as some early enrollees, we'd even have a better start to the season than we did. Exactly. You know what I mean? So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I think and I think Trey kind of touched on it, but I think for Anthony Hill, the reason he has so much fanfare, as you called it, is that he was so good so early. And so you saw the physical prowess, as him as a sophomore, so he was just on the scene a lot sooner than Samaje, who I think will be, a fantastic linebacker for us. I think you're starting to see that in his senior film. A lot of those questions, and who knows, where the evaluators were at the time when he was blossoming, but they're paying attention now, and I think he'll start to get some of the credit he deserves later.
So I have a question about a guy, because one of my favorite guys in this class was Darian Gillette, and where do y'all like? To me, he's so unique. We're talking another track guy, another size speed, like. But where is he playing on the defense? Because I get different answers whenever I bring up Gallette's name in terms of what people envision him in this scheme.
Do you want to use him like LSU's using Perkins right now?
Oh man, that is my guy. Explosion, twitch.
Yeah.
The guy is a freak. I can't wait. I hope he fully recovers. I hope they don't rush him back. But when it is his turn, you get him on the field somehow. Rushing. You know how in the beginning of the season they talked about moving Overshown around and attacking the quarterback from different areas?
Yes.
Bingo. That's what you do with DG.
Yeah.
It's like what? Think about this: the potential to have all three of them on the field. Hill at middle. You got the two outside linebackers that can run. They can run. I just want to see how he, like Jay Bass said, how is he going to come back after that injury? That's the only thing. I just want to see him. I want him to because I think this year he was talking about getting surgery. I'm gonna come back for it. You don't have to do that.
Right. No, you don't have to. No. I'm glad. Yeah, I agree.
You don't just rehab, get healthy, and then now you're going to a good program, strength and conditioning. Also, they're gonna probably still rehab you some more in there. I think he's an early enrollee, if I'm not mistaken. So now you have that, even better doctors, because don't like UT have one of the best medical schools also. So that's why I'm just looking. I'm like, oh, that's dangerous, because now I can have linebackers with good hips. I have one that's as violent, two of them that can just run sideline to sideline.
There's tape of Gillette flipping his hips and running 30 yards downfield, like a corner.
Covering a receiver in a slot.
And nobody, like, it's not awkward. It looks like, is he a safety? Like, what the hell is going on here? Crazy. You know what I mean? And then you see him hit at the line of scrimmage and he's blowing up guards and tackles like it's, causing car accidents. Like, Darian Gillette is fun, dude. And I got to get Ramonce Taylor on here because he's his, I think he's his track coach at the school or something like that. And, yeah, so we got to get Ramonce on here too to touch on that. But he's incredible.
Gillette had an ESPN article written on him, and he hasn't played his senior year. Like the amount of exposure that DG has gotten, rightfully so, but without the senior film, ought to let you know that he is that guy. And I mean, once his turn comes, I think we'll all be happy he'll be on campus.
Shout out to Nash Talks
Nash.
Texas.
Yeah, no. Hey, Darian Gillette might be a better punter than Danny Trejo. Just saying. Just saying.
No,
Darian
that kid freaky. Like, even in the state track meet, when he trying to track down probably two fastest kids. One's gonna be the fastest kid. Well, he's also on the list to come to the game. Terry Bussey and Ernest Campbell. Ernest Campbell, that kid's gonna blow up. He's about to pop even more. He almost tracked it like he used the anchor leg at Marlins 4x1. And I was like, this dude is not no linebacker. There's no way.
Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way, boy.
The most hilarious thing to me is how Banks literally showed up to college, and the next day he was like, "Oh, this college shit is easy." Like, he pretty much just, with no off season, no training program, no strength. He came in a couple weeks into the summer, took the spot when he got off the bus. When his mom dropped him off on campus, he took the number 1 spot. And then he is just, I've heard coaches tell me that he's basically out there not knowing the intricacies of the position, not knowing pretty much what he's doing. He's winning on physical ability alone.
It was funny. Trey was telling me the reason why they struggle so much against TCU is because they had to go against what's his name, Tyree King. Man. And we were just like, yeah, I was just telling him, hey, we didn't really have a problem with Tyree King because we put a big old freshman on him. But you know,
put that big old freshman on, then they flipped, and then what happened? I almost got the man killed.
Chilling on that. All right, are we chilling on that? We did a good job against Tyree King.
Listen, what happened now? Last week, y'all almost seen some tragic, a travesty on the field. Christian Jones blocked down instead of going out. Now, Tyree King, met him coming off the edge.
Hey, listen, Christian Jones didn't have his best game last week, but he's had an amazing season so far.
Time out. Christian Jones was the 3rd highest graded player for Texas this past weekend. So we get caught up in the moments, where O-lineman or any position for that matter makes a grave mistake. But that's one play. Over the course of that game, he was the 3rd highest on offense. He was the 3rd highest graded player.
Also, players, so I want to make this statement. This is more of a broad statement about Texas players. We give people a hard time when we have been frustrated with them over the years, and we cherry pick shit. We do this a lot. So with Christian Jones, he can be lights out all game. Nobody says anything. He has one mistake or one snap or one thing like this, and then, oh, you see? Right. We do this with Deshaun Jameson. Do we not, as a fan base? Right? Absolutely. Y'all know the names. Y'all know the suspects that we do this with, and it's not fair.
5%ers. That's what they call them, the 5%ers.
If you've ever been in a space with me, listen, I was the biggest Christian Jones hater out there. I thought he was detrimental to the program. I thought it was personal, like he had a personal vendetta against me as a Texas Longhorn fan. Just the first, because it was such a process to get him to the point where he is now. And shout out Kyle Flood. But now I will fight for him to the death. I'll go out and get a Christian Jones jersey if you can get one, because that man has had the turnaround of a lifetime.
Love me some Christian Jones, man. Christian Jones is he's proven a lot of doubters wrong this year, and honestly, he's played to a level where I think he's gonna get a chance to go compete for a roster spot in the NFL, which is awesome. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody would have said that about him last year, but he's been right. Amazing this year. Trey.
So there's one list. We have 2 lists. I'll expose this to the public, and then I want to give everybody their parting shots, and we can bounce. We have 2 lists going on in our group chat. Number 1 is the list of players that people blame no matter what. And y'all know who those players are. You can name them in the chat. The players that people blame no matter what. And you have to have been here for some period of time to screw up to get on said list. The other list that we have, and it's a wonderful list. It's the don't sleep on so-and-so list. That is also a wonderful list, right? Hey, guy, like one of the all-time great don't sleep on players who I actually saw make a tackle on special teams last week for Texas Tech. My guy, Tyler Owens, who I've been on YouTube now for a while. And when we signed Tyler Owens,
He's still on special teams over there?
Bro, he almost beat Matthew. Dog. God, though.
You almost triggered Trey.
I'm sorry, man.
Oh,
Man,
that ought to be a
I do the
segment.
man. He do the man like that. He made a good. Steven talked about he made a good play. Yeah, the man still on special teams. Like
I forgot that he existed for a minute there because I was like, damn, I was hoping he would maybe make some plays against it.
Trey about to come through the monitor like.
No,
He should do. You know what he should do? Should be back on that track. Texas Tech has a phenomenal program. 10-2 speed doesn't come around often. Program. You know what I mean? Get him on some vegetables. Cut his weight down. Maybe get down to like a 190, 185 at 6'2". We can get you sub 10, my boy. You got it. You got the explosion. The only reason why you lost to Matt Bowling was because you were just too big. You know what I mean? So hey, we can see you can do it now. I'll say that much. But
this man is hell.
Yeah, he's not lying.
I don't know football the sport for him anymore, brother. I'm keep it a buck with you. Much respect to the kid. I hope he does figure it out. But God, no, I don't know.
Oh
man. I expected to hear Tyler Owens' name doing something else, and then you were just like, "Oh, he made a great play on special teams." I was like, "Hey, he's doing that here." Like,
Big 12 runs through Lubbock.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Bruh, y'all blew my channel up for 2 years, telling me that we needed to move Tyler Owens to middle linebacker. I have the receipts.
Exit the chat.
Don't sleep on T.O., bro.
Where's Tyler Owens at? He got 10-2 speed. Why can't he get on the field? Tyler Owens.
The don't sleep on list. Please submit your don't sleep on players. They don't have to be bad. It's just people that, because this is the thing about recruiting. Troy O'Meara, don't sleep on All-Star. Hope he gets well soon. But here's the thing, bro. People fall in love with recruits and the potential. And when we never ever see that person or it never ever materializes, and we haven't physically seen them, and we haven't seen why the coaches don't play them, then we get mad and we say, oh, don't sleep on so-and-so. Like, to the point where we will name somebody else who's producing and doing just fine. And somebody will come on the space. Somebody will come in the comment on Twitter. Somebody will chime in the comment section and be like, well, don't sleep on so-and-so. Brother, that's...
Oh, man.
Don't sleep on special teams, according to Karen.
Oh, my God.
So, shout out to the don't sleep on list. Shout out to we are going to blame this person no matter what list. We appreciate your service.
That's a great list, though. We're going to blame you no matter what. Yeah, you can add coaches into that, too. Oh, my goodness. Oh, God.
All right.
Can we close on that real quick, though, too?
Yeah,
I just want to close on PK and Gary Patterson. Let's talk about it, guys. Let's have a conversation about it, all right? So, after this weekend, one way or the other, if this defense goes out there and performs well, I want y'all to give credit to PK. If this defense goes out there and performs poorly, I want y'all to be honest and say that it was PK's fault. Sure. If this defense goes out there and just boat races, just starts dominating this TCU defense, I don't want to hear, well, it was all Gary Patterson. PK didn't do shit. Gary Patterson's the reason why we went out there and we got that damn W. He was coaching pissed off at that damn team full of people that fired him, and that's the reason why we no. I want to give the defensive coordinator, put it all on PK. Let's be honest here. Put it all on PK. Because at the end of the day, that's his job title.
That's his job.
Also, guys, I'm going to ask y'all this, and I said this in the space. We talked about this on the phone. I just want to touch on this one more time. I'm bringing it to you, too, because it's that serious. Gentlemen, can y'all tell me where Gary Patterson's area of expertise in the defense is?
The secondary.
Can y'all tell me where PK's area of expertise on defense is?
Talk to him.
Front seven, defensive line, edges, right?
Talk to him.
That's their history of their careers, by the way.
And we're blaming And we're saying that the reason the defense does well is because of Gary Patterson. And we're saying the reason that the defense does poorly is because of PK. Meanwhile, which one of those units has been the problem this year?
I feel
The
the secondary
secondary.
going on.
Now, listen, I just want us to be consistent. I just want us to be consistent because my thing is, if we brought in Gary Patterson to help us in the secondary, why are we struggling so damn much? What's going on?
Oh man.
And listen, bro, listen. I understand people are out there on the Twitterverse saying, "Well, we're doing more twists and stunts this year. We're bringing more disguise pressures and That's PK stuff. It's not Gary Patterson's area of expertise. That's PK stuff. So I just want to be honest here. I just want to be honest. We have one of the best run stopping units out there. We're getting more pressure than we have years prior. We're not finishing with sacks. Obviously, that's frustrating. I think that's going to come with more talent that we get.
More talent. I agree.
Yep.
Give PK some damn credit, guys. This defense is overachieving what we thought they needed to be for us to be a Big 12 championship. Come on now.
Where's the offering play at? Because this man is preaching. Like,
Come on now.
Man, dropping facts.
I'm sorry. I had to go out there and say it. I'm just tired of it, man. I'm tired of hearing, oh, PK, oh, this sucks. PK. We need to hire Gary Patterson. Is he not helping right now with the secondary? Is that not his area of expertise? Because that wasn't PK's. Even at Washington, Jimmy Lake was calling the second half of that. Yet I hear everybody complaining about how bad the secondary is, yet the person with the job title, passing game coordinator, is not getting added. I'm not coming at him. I'm happy what he's doing on the trail. I'm not trying to come at nobody sideways. But what I'm saying is it's PK this, PK that. Yet we're not talking about where his area of expertise and where his focus has been. And then the person that has the job title, passing game coordinator, is not getting any sort of flack.
Man.
Kobe, the Cash App is Jesus Papa.
Man.
You gotta drop the Cash App. You gotta drop
money sign Care Bear Kieran, same as my ad. Money sign Care Bear Kieran. That's
that microphone got to be on fire.
But yeah, that's all. I just wanted to have that conversation before we go into this game because my thing is, if we end up getting cooked, blame it on PK. If we end up doing well, give PK his flowers, bro. Do it. I understand. Y'all are going to be so ready to be like, Gary Patterson is the reason why we have a good defense this year. It changed everything. PK's unit is doing a phenomenal job. Donations. I'm just saying. I just wanted to have that conversation before. I mean, am I wrong for preaching a little bit?
Take your time.
At Care Bear Kieran, by the way, if you wanna go ahead and send me something, it's money sign Care Bear Kieran. Thank you very much. Donations will be appreciated. I'll be here.
Donations.
Thank you very much.
Bruh, Rob H said they don't even know Jerry Joseph. Who's that? The quality control coach? Who's that? Who's Terry Joseph? Is he a brother, a sister, or
who is Terry
white
Joseph?
man? Who is Terry Joseph?
He's the man with the sweatshirt running up and down the field in 100 degree weather. That's what he is.
Get back coach. He's the get back coach.
He's the get back coach. He's wearing the orange reflector vest on the sideline.
Pick up the belt behind all the people calling plays. Just hold them back. Oh my gosh.
Well said, brother. Well said.
Facts.
I can't add anything to that.
Yeah.
I can't add anything to that. And great point by Dustin here. Shout out to Dustin, my buddy Dustin.
Yeah, I was literally just
PK has worked. This isn't even his staff.
Who's his one hire? Oh no, hold on. Talk about it though. Who's his one hire?
Jeff Choate.
And Jeff Choate has what right now? The best.
Hold on. Let's be real. The only reason why Jeff Choate is here is because they screwed up trying to hire.
Talk to him.
We forgot about that. We went ahead and did the Men in Black jump and literally hit the button on that jump. We literally hit the button on that jump. We tried to hire that man, and we went and got Jeff Choate instead.
This mup spitting.
And guess what? If Jeff Choate pulls Anthony Hill, what y'all got to say about that man now? developed 2 linebackers that are going to the league. Now he's going to have the best linebacker in the state if we get a commitment from Anthony Hill.
Actually, 3.
And that was PK's height. And you get a really solid one. Two other phenomenal evaluations too. Darian Gillette.
Yep.
Samaje Burrell.
So Gillette,
Leona Lafau.
Burrell, Leona Lafau, and potentially Anthony Hill.
Anthony Hill.
Stop
And that was his
it.
hire.
That's
And that
Jeff
was his
Cho.
hire. That was Jeff Cho. That was his hire.
So
Yeah, we coming. Yeah, we're coming at PK for a bunch of guys that he did not hire. Jimmy Lake's available. Anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. Jimmy Lake is available. I don't care how many kids he punched. Get his ass out here and then call some damn coverages.
Facts.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's time for forgiveness. It's time for forgiveness and understanding. Brother Trey, you guys are a Christian school. You understand that as well. It is time to forgive Jimmy Lake. It is time to make amends and get him back in college football. Trey, parting shots. What do you got for us, man?
Parting shots.
How much y'all losing by?
Parting shots. Special teams. That's what we're gonna do. We'll say special teams. I heard you. Will Brennan Thompson and what's the other running back?
Keelan Robinson.
Keelan Robinson. I'll make them y'all gunners. Cause if any time back there touches the ball, it may be prime time.
Hey, I don't know if you've seen our kick return coverage this year, Trey, but I'm telling you, we're gonna kick it right to Darius Davis, and then either DeMarvion Overshown, Jalen Ford, or Roshan Johnson are gonna sprint down the field and light his little ass up. I'm just telling you. I don't know if you've watched our kick coverage this year.
That boy.
But I guarantee you, we're gonna start off the game lighting his little ass up. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Bro, we almost tackled somebody in the end zone last week. Did anybody peep that?
And that was who? Malik Knowles, one of the best return men in the conference over the past 3 years.
Malik.
Okay. We'll see, Trey.
Did he
We're
play
not scared of none of that.
Did he play on Saturday?
Yeah, he did. Oh, yeah, he caught a couple of balls, J Bass. Let's be honest. A wide receiver. He didn't return no kicks though. He didn't return shit on. Yeah,
I got ahead of myself. I got excited there.
Yeah, what was that prediction though, Trey? Let's go ahead and hear it.
Man, y'all told me all week. Y'all fans told me, 49-20 Texas. That's what they told me all week.
49 to what?
Somebody else fan base told me 49-20, and we're not gonna score 21 points. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna go and pray for about 4 days, and when our Resurrection Sunday comes, y'all might either see me with a daily do-rag with 2 black and miles in my ear.
Not the Black and Miles.
Yes, because I'm about to be on that Miles. And
He's gonna be in his full unk.
Yeah, I'm going full on. I'm with Miles, and you might see me with a menthol in my mouth. I ain't smoke.
Oh, not the Newports.
Newports. Y'all quit smoking cancer sticks. Or y'all gonna see me, or you're gonna see me pulpit fat Easter suit with that big collar on Sunday Crown.
No, not a chance.
Watch,
Man turned into a Nigerian preacher all of a sudden. The blood of Christ is among us, my brothers and sisters.
Can I give my prediction? Because y'all not gonna like this one. I'm gonna try to end this on a good note.
Go ahead, Karen. I'm scared of this.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know I love this football team. I want to make that very clear before I give this prediction. You know I bleed burnt orange. I'm gonna be rooting for us.
Earmuffs, J Bass. Earmuffs.
Right? Tooth and nail this weekend. I do not think we are equipped to stop their passing attack, especially in the middle of our defense. I believe Max Duggan is going to be able to make some plays because we have not shown the capability of tackling the passer. I believe he's going to cause us some hell on these QB draws that they love running. I believe he's going to complete some balls over the middle of the field to Tate Barber. Don't big screen me while I'm doing this. don't do that, man. Come on now. I think Tate Barber and Darius Davis are going to eat in this game. Receiving wise, I'm not worried about Darius. If we kick to Jahmyr Gibbs, we're going to kick to Darius Davis. I don't care. I think TCU go in this game. I think we're going to get up to a decent sized early lead, but not anything too crazy. I think it's going to be about 20.
Don't shoot.
So it's going to be like 24 to 14 at halftime. We're going to have a 10-point lead, right? I think we're going to score a little bit in that third, but I think TCU is going to come roaring back because we can't get a stop defensively. I got final score 38-31. I got TCU. Sorry. I'm sorry. I don't believe we can get it done, guys. I don't. Defensively, I don't think we can stop them consistently. But I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It is what it is. I have to be honest. This is the first time I picked against my team in forever. So I'm not confident this week. I'm so sorry.
We have people asking for refunds that have already sent money to your Cash App.
Hey, I have not received anything on Cash App, by the way. If y'all, I'm just saying.
Cash App might be blocked. Sorry,
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Got to get reported for fraud.
I think we're young. I think we got talent. I don't know what's gonna happen. I think TCU is gonna get it done. I'm sorry. If I'm giving my real football prediction, I think Max Duggan. I've seen him do it time and time again against us, and honestly, I've seen worse quarterbacks have better games. Last time we played in DKR, we had Hunter Deckers go off for 300 and have his career best game. You can't play that brand of ball, especially against a guy like Garrett Riley. So
I had to disappear.
Sorry.
I had to disappear on that
I'm sorry. I have to be honest. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I got my kids crying in the background because Kieran over here just going crazy. My wife yelling. Golly, where did that come from? All this positive talk, and you just bust out with Jesus Christ. You want to end like that too?
No, I want to end with y'all's predictions.
Go ahead, Jay Bass.
That's why I went early.
Texas in a rout. I'll tell you why. Texas is the home team. Texas does extremely well as the home team. Texas has a better running game. Most importantly, the Max Duggan that we all know and love will return to his true form. 2 interceptions. The secondary shows up to play. We get the W. Sark needs this game. Texas needs this game. And Texas shows up for big games. It's always the inferior opponents we've had to worry about when we perceived ourselves to be good. Most understand who we are, our limitations, the up and downs, the growing pains, all of that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But for the big games, LSU, Alabama, all of the Georgia, all of the big games, doesn't matter who the players were, doesn't matter who the coach was. Texas has some pride on their chest. They come in our house. Expect the atmosphere to be just like Bama. The recruits will be there. It is going. You say Jesus is popping. That defense going to be popping.
Amen.
I want to change my pick now. I feel terrible. I feel awful.
No, you are terrible.
I'm so sorry, guys.
After that, you are a terrible human being.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry. My brother, no.
I'll put it.
Go away. You are banished.
Did I give y'all my why? I think there's 2 different games that I think it'll go like, right? Either it's gonna be 2018.
One arm cook.
Look, 2018. We played against Iowa State. We needed to make the Big 12 championship. It was the biggest game of our year. We played against a ranked Iowa State top 15 matchup. We beat them. We beat the shit out of them. We went out there and actually did our damn job. We did what we were supposed to do, right? And then another game that reminds me of, just because we're young and we don't have it quite all together yet, I think Quinn can either have like that 2018 Iowa State game, or he can have that 2017 Texas Tech game. I don't know which one he's going to have. I hope it's more 2018 Iowa State, but I'm not confident in this defense, guys. I'm so sorry. I can't believe this defense.
You're not confident in this defense that just got a turnover with the game on the line.
No.
That same defense that showed you when the offense couldn't score, they holding it down.
I think if Will Howard started that game, we might have lost.
How many fumbles did we get on that last drive against Kansas State?
We had 2. We had 4. We had
it felt
4
like 10.
forced fumbles that entire game.
It felt like 10 fumbles. That defense out there humming. PK's defense out there humming. And then it's personal for Gary Patterson too. This the team that let the man go who had a statue outside.
You damn right, Jay Bass. You damn
It's
right, J
personal.
Bass.
He
You damn
he
right, J
he
Bass.
feel worse about this game than he did Alabama, and they prepared for 4 months for that game.
No, you're right, J
guarantee you.
Bass.
He
You
had
right.
this game scheduled.
You're right, J Bass.
He had it circled on the calendar.
You're right, J Bass. You know, Bijan got to get to New York somehow, and this is the week to do it. Right. Let's go. Hey, you know what? I'm changing my pick, bro. Texas getting this shit done. 42-31. Texas getting it done. Let's go. Let's go. Hook him, baby. I can't pick with Trey right now. What am I doing? What am I doing?
Man, flag on the play. This man has used Malcolm Kelly's lyrics. He done stole from a coach. Talking about that ball is humming. Where'd you get them lyrics from?
Don't worry about that. It's not
Exactly.
copyrighted. It's not copyrighted.
He ain't popping no trunks in Austin, Texas. That's all I know. We gonna win that game. Let's go.
GP,
Damn, J Bass. I
man?
appreciate you. Get J Bass's cash app up there.
I'm
You know
just,
what I mean?
I'm just here for a little encouragement. That's all. Give me my check, Elon. Give me my check.
Steven, how you feeling?
I've been consistent in my spirit. And my spirit is now in alignment with my head, and my head is now in alignment with my heart.
Come with it. Come with it.
We are going to kick TCU's ass.
Thank you.
And I completely agree that this Texas team, because you know what? We love, and very rarely, very, very rarely do we get to be hunters. And this week, we get to be hunters. We are always the hunted, always, no matter what. But right now, with GP, with the Big 12 that we thought we were fading out of the race, and now we right here, from a standpoint of we back home after getting one on the road, we putting up 50 plus. You heard me. We putting up 50 plus.
Talk to him.
I'm dead ass serious. This is going to be all gas, no brakes on Texas Christian University. Just another victim. I'm sorry.
My favorite song.
Bro, I've never felt this strong about whooping somebody's ass in a long time. And that's not even our MO recently, but it will be on Saturday.
Oh my God.
It will be on Saturday, November 12th. There's an energy coming. Steve Sarkisian got them recruits all there for a reason, brother.
Oh my God. You think we about to go there?
He is fixing to put on a show.
Trey, they say we breaking foot off in your ass. That's crazy, dog.
Pity. You heard the man.
That's crazy.
Game day is here.
I've never heard
this energy is real.
I've never heard Steve talk this confidently.
Who's game day there for?
Brother, to see
the team that they came
unmasked.
the first time.
Hold on.
The team that they
ESPN
came
is
the first time.
ESPN is there to watch that team that they gonna put on Bally Sports Southwest. Go ahead and lose to a future SEC opponent. That's what they're doing.
Chuck?
Oh my God.
Yes,
I've never seen Steven speak this confidently about the Texas Longhorns. Am I missing something?
Dude,
spanking that ass.
The only way I would have wavered on this is if we didn't do what we were supposed to do coming out of the bye week and winning a game that we should have won more convincingly, but we won the game. But here's the other thing, Trey. Have y'all had a bye week yet? What's the situation of your team?
Our bye week was in week 3. We've been playing 7 games straight.
Play whoop that trick.
We've been playing.
Your bye week was in week 3.
Just say try Amazon Music Unlimited.
Sorry, she got carried away.
Trey, you guys had a bye week in week 3, right? Uh-oh. Yeah. We going for you, Trey. We on your head, Trey. We on your head, Trey.
I don't want this video to get taken down, so I got to stop it. But
Exactly.
y'all understand what it is.
I'm gonna play 8 off.
You know what this is? We talking big trash right now. You know why? Because when it's in the spirit, I know y'all are Christian school, Trey, but when I have the Lord with me, nobody can stand against me. Not even Sonny Dykes. I love you guys. I love BC. I love Duggan.
Devil
all
Dykes.
of y'all. Ugh. I got the Pusha T. Ugh. You know what I mean? Like in all seriousness, though, from a football perspective, our batteries were recharged. I do believe that. Our batteries are recharged. I believe we're a healthier football team than you are, Trey. I believe we will have a rematch in Arlington. I do believe that. And I think there could be different circumstances then. Who knows? But in DKR, in game day on November 12th, I've said it for weeks. It's been in my spirit. We're going to kick your ass. It's just how it works. I don't like.
Period.
That's just how it works. If y'all were 8-1, I would feel differently. If y'all were not number 4 in the country, I would feel differently. If game day wasn't there, I would feel differently. I know my team. I know my team. I know I know these people. They get up for shit like this. They always do.
Yes.
We do.
There's a scripture in the Bible, and it's 1 Samuel 17. And I want some of the people at home go read that, because the people that are sounding haunted are sounding like this one person that is biblically that was just picking on people, and they still getting picked on. So, what happens in this story? Because this story never changed. There ain't no cold blues flowing. It's Jesus' anointing is flowing. And
Trey,
Samuel,
I'm falling asleep like the fourth quarter of this upcoming game because it's gonna be blown out. Look into the camera. Look into the
will
camera.
help a lot of y'all.
Trey, I will say this. Big primetime games in DKR against conference opponents the past couple of years. Oklahoma State came in ranked when we needed to beat them. We got them up out of there. Iowa State came in ranked when we needed to beat them. We got them up out of there. I think we're gonna show up to play. And my thing is, if there ever was a time for this team, and this is what I don't believe in, that's why I picked against us at first.
It's crazy.
If there ever was a time for this team to come together and actually start playing up to their potential, at least 80-90% of their potential, it is this week. And I think this is going to be the most, now that I'm thinking about it, I think this might be the most juice that this team is for a game since Alabama.
Turn me up.
And if that's the case, Trey, if you get a team that's as focused, a team that's as fired up to play against your program this Saturday, you don't stand a chance. Trey, I love you, my brother, but you do not stand a chance if this team comes out there and does that. Do I think that's going to happen? I don't know. I honestly, I don't believe in
What you mean you do?
I'm talking about from a football perspective, guys. From a football perspective, y'all cannot tell me my take is wrong. I'm very concerned about the middle of our defense, guys. Listen, I want to be on y'all shit so bad. I've been hurt so many times.
How many times?
I have been hurt so many times. I don't want to believe anymore. I want them to show me. But like I said, Trey, if we show up motivated like Steven thinks, we whooping that ass.
We gonna lay down. First Samuel 17, we gonna lay down. We gonna just lay down. We ain't got
last time doing this.
The bully. This is bigger than Bama. I forgot. We bigger than Bama. We bigger than Bama. Remember that what y'all just said. We bigger than Bama.
I cannot continue to be. I cannot continue to be the catalyst that lifts us up from the dumps to the championship that we've been waiting to reach for the past 12 freaking years. This is the year. Can I have my big screen, please? I know this is your channel. Support the channel. Everything, but everyone needs to understand this and one thing only. All right. When it comes down to Saturday night, Texas versus TCU, I can't even get the name out. Disgusting. They come into our house, and we've seen what this team can do at home. We've seen what this team can do when the game is on the line, when the lights is brightest, when they counted us out. How many points did they say Bama was going to beat us by? How many times did they dog us? Not this week, not this season. We're going to get this dub on Saturday, and we'll see them again in the Big 12 championship, and we're going to smack that ass again. I promise you that.
Amen.
I'll tell you what this actually could be too. If it is a turning point in this program, because I think if we go out there and we smack shit out of TCU, it's a huge turning point. Like this program now is reset the bar in terms of expectations, right? You can't go out there and lose to Kansas the next week or come back home and lose to Baylor. You need to go win the Big 12 championship if you go out there and smack shit out of TCU, which is what I'm kind of like about. But you know what it reminds me of? If we do go out there and smack the shit out of them, y'all remember 08 whenever Missouri came in with Chase Daniel and them, Jeremy Maclin, and everyone was saying, "Hey, Missouri's kind of nice. They like Texas kind of like they might get beat. Missouri's kind of doing some shit, yada yada yada." And we went out there,
Jeremy Maclin out there.
Yeah, exactly. And we went out there and we beat the fucking hell out of them. We smacked them.
Do we have to go back that far? What about Georgia? The terror of the
I don't think this is the Georgia one though. I don't think this is the Georgia one though, because we're supposed to beat Mizzou, but people were doubting it.
Surfer Boy, we have the main Georgia Bulldogs booster in the chat right now, so I got to show my respect. He's riding on cloud nine
in that one.
Yeah, we got to. I mean, my thing is
crazy to me with a volunteer hat on. God dang, I thought it would take
volunteer hat. Hey, that's the Augie Garrido special. You're not gonna disrespect the GOAT. That's the Augie Garrido special.
Crazy.
All right. That's the you see that you. Hey, hold up. Turn to the side, J Bass. Show the flag. That's the Augie Garrido special. You're not gonna disrespect the legend.
No, for real. My fault.
Yeah.
That's what TCU gonna be saying when they leaving in the fourth quarter. Oh, my fault. My fault. I thought we was playing Tech. I thought we was playing Tennessee. My fault.
So
up and down the field.
I'm gonna get 20 to 13. 48 to 10, 50 to 7, 31-9, 24-7. I ain't talking about sports. 37-27, 33-31. What did I just name off?
All of y'all's wins.
I think the past 10 years we know what happened.
Boy, stuck in the past.
But now don't do that, because y'all all bring up the past. How many natties we got? How many it is, man? 2 of y'all natties my pick. Never mind, I ain't gonna go there.
Who won last year? Since we're bringing up the past.
Hey, you did bring up last year. Talking about the past.
Continues.
Remember, I forgot. We don't have GP. Sonny Dyke. Look, we suck. We trash. I don't remember that. Everybody been saying this how we're gonna get punched in the mouth. We trash. I'm gonna say nothing. We trash. Basura.
Trey, we coming for you, bro.
9-1, Trey. 9-1. I appreciate y'all coming on. Hey, y'all follow every single one of these gentlemen. They do. I mean, the conversation today speaks for itself. Y'all know where to find Karen, Cara, and you know what? We're gonna turn the Cash App donations back on. All right. So, money sign Care Bear Karen. Y'all know what it is. Trey Moore out here, Texas Football Life. Go support the movement. Stay up to date on recruiting, the insides and outs on these young men and how they profile them, and not just football, but where their futures will be. And then Mr. J Bass, he told us he got content coming for us. So
tomorrow,
we outside.
Stay tuned.
We will stay tuned, brother. And, you know, our wonderful sponsors here, laststandhats.com/Fanatic Perspective. That promo code Fanatic 10% off. We rocking gear, merch all over. Go support the movement. So much Horns gear out there. And if you're here in the chat, like Christopher supporting Trey and the Horn Frogs, they got TCU. You know, they got TCU gear on there as well. Really, really dope gear in all seriousness. So, you know, check it out on me, Fanatic 10. And if you're looking to bet this game, the over right now is 64.5. Let's hit that over, right? Because we about to spank them. And Texas -7. If you're looking for somebody to put your money on or where to do it, hit up busr.com/Fanatic, promo code Sports100FP. Guys, we got to remember, it's up to $2,500 that we're matching in that first 24 hours of your deposit. So take advantage. Sports100FP is the promo code, busr.com/Fanatic. Y'all, this was hell of fun. I couldn't think of a better way to spend my night, but it is time to bounce. And remember, Trey, you especially, horns always up. Peace.
Some little critters down.